Well, that's in the recording now, forever. I'm not editing it out.
Yeah.
We're back in. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Hello.
all back here.
Yay.
Expect this one to be weird, people at home. We took a week off for reasons, as you have to do. So we're coming back after, effectively a 2-week gap since we recorded last session. And
A fortnight,
also,
if you will.
yeah, also we're in a slightly weird spot because we all got together, and then Lucky had to run out very briefly for a second, so the rest of us just kind of sat around and jawed for a little bit. So hopefully we've got it out of our system, but also, who knows?
Eyes Dallas.
Anywho, this episode is brought to you by our patrons, who I'd like to briefly shout out before we continue. Patrons like Admit Harp, Blacksto G, Call Me Zed, Carlos, Dragon, JDV9000, Justify, Kaiser, Starlight, Legendary, Boss Hunter, BM Customer, Rise of Kenji, Rogue Robin, Trevor, some guy named Bob, and Varen the Crow. If you like what we do, want to see his work, consider supporting us on Patreon. So, we enter the Rain space, the Rain dimension, the game of lords and leaders, as it says. Last time we wrapped up with the Masquerade. The Masquerade was donezo.
Yeah.
Masqueraded. Good for you. And some of you do not masquerade. Good for you. And I think because things we're kind of in this more standard phase. I'm just gonna kind of set the scene by everybody returns home to Torchlight Hall. The Masquerade winds down at such and such a time. Presumably, everybody else's social plans are intended to wrap at a similar time.
Yeah.
Because Konrad obviously went out to the theater with Rena and Leslok and Logesh both attended some, other social events for some older people. And so those, kind of naturally wind down when everybody comes out. So you were allowed to briefly reconvene at the old so-and-so. And I think to kind of put everybody in a thinky space, in the thinky space I want you to be in. I'm sure many of you are naturally in thinky spaces. When you all get back, the people who are all masqueraded up have time to, get out of costume, etc. And kind of police up all your various bits and bobs. Moira is waiting for you guys collectively. And she basically says, because I think it's been about a day now. Or at least an afternoon, because the fencing tournament was earlier this day. Day the 1. That, you put her to the ground to look for stuff, so.
Yeah.
I assume all of you are willing to group up and hear about the Grand Melee, which is what you had her asking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I guess. I'll participate, sure. I mean, I'll participate in listening, not the actual melee.
Well, it's good, Doc. I suppose I could have just hit you on the head and sent you to bed, but, you can contribute. Anyway, kind of, she clears her throat. Sorry, I'm not used to Lucky making the dishes noises. It
Oh, the loud
slightly
part.
distracts me. Yeah. Don't worry about it too hard. It's a me problem. But also I did ask about everybody, and I'm while Dallas made sure to make a joke, I am kind of like curious there that other people have not said positives.
Konrad is eagerly looking in. Sorry, waiting.
Yes. I know it's
I'm
other
back
people.
from taking my medication. I'm sorry.
Okay. I would have preferred a secret hand sign on that when you do that, because you are the heir to the house and you're important, and none of the characters can actually like make you do anything. So I'm just kind of sitting here waiting for you, and you're like, oh, I was away. Anyway, I presume you wish to be informed.
Yes.
Okay. And Logesh didn't say anything, so he's not here for this.
Fuck.
I'm kidding, but it would be funny if somebody just slammed a door in your face.
No, I'm here for this. It's just
Yes.
yeah. I can't participate. I can offer advice.
Yes. I mean, you may still want to know, because what I was going to say about before, in character, Moira would make a joke, but out of character, Nicola could still listen into the requirements because, he may want to be on hand for, like, injuries and stuff you're dealing with or anything else. Anyway.
Yeah, basically.
Those of you who can participate are listening in, and the rest of the player characters are also at least hearing in because it's important. So Moira runs it down, pretty simple. Just, look about the old fort for a little bit. It can be too obvious. There's still some people around this town who might want to, stick you with something pointy. But the old fort courtyard grounds are being filled in to be an arena. It probably won't be until the third or fourth day, and we're a little cagey about how fast they're going to be ready. But should be filled with sand and soft dirt. It'll be, 2 teams at a time. And you're going to be going at them in 5 to 7 groups. And I think you're going to have to register the team beforehand, so no swapping. We hope. But other than the base of the earth, you're going to have your... they were kind of inconsistent about what they called it. Some call it a dugout, but other than your castle. Basically, there's going to be a little stand at your end of the arena. It's going to have a flag in it, a banner,
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's gonna drum on out. You guys should already know, but to remind you, armor and shields are permitted. You will be equipped with whatever weapon styles you would prefer, but all the weapons to be used in the actual matches are going to be blunted or corked. And the Lord Chancellor and Lord Marshal will be overseeing it. Just to make sure it's clear for everybody, right? Using or attempting to use an properly edged weapon, or otherwise actually trying to deal mortal harm to anybody, is grounds for an immediate disqualification. I think that's the word. It's a big word. And mechanically, there's a process for this that I won't get into because Moira is a character in the universe and thus does not know how to describe converting killing damage to shock, but I have a section for that if you really want to know how your damage formula works. You're not allowed to bring in any ranged weapons because that's real hard to blunt, but I asked a couple of people, and I think according to the old bylaws, throwing's all right. It just, once again, has to be blunted. If you throw a live knife, that's going to be, makes a gesture roughly equivalent to a, umpire calling you out in baseball. Slap hands, thumb back. She does give a pointed turn. Sorry, I'm calling him out. Dallas is using this opportunity to not distract from the game by saying it out loud, but is distracting me by DMing me.
Sorry. I tried not to distract.
You could just type it in the normal chat, and then when I see it, I see it. Okay. Because I get like a big red bubble and a pop up and a number 1 when you DM me.
Fair enough.
Anyway, Moira takes a pointed turn to Leslok, but does probably make sure to acknowledge Inos and probably Aurelia too if she's in this conversation. I don't know if you guys are like went to your
We should
study
probably
hall or
have.
just doing this in the parlor.
No, we should probably have Aurelia and who's the other one?
Hurin is
Thorin?
your younger member.
Hurin.
Yes, Hurin.
Hurin, right?
But like I said, she inclines her head there, but does keep a side eye to the other ones. It says, "I did a little bit asking, and again, according to the ancient bylaws, sorcery is not forbidden per se, but using sorcery to again cause any meaningful harm to anybody would be grounds for an immediate disqualification. I don't really know if any of you guys are good at that kind of." She wiggles her fingers in a suitably sorcerous gesture. But just so you know, it would be against the rules.
Anything in my specialization is more long-term or more, I guess, vicious and not really useful that way, outside of, I guess, one specific case, but even then it's not worth it.
Vicious. What? Never mind.
Don't know anything about that. Anyway, so it's
addictive
all right,
there,
but
yeah.
you know, it's allowed, but it again, just be careful how you do it. But yeah, anyway, basic breakdown is, you're gonna have she pulls out a kind of just generic scrap of cloth. This is the example they used when I asked. This is not actually it, but everyone's gonna have, a bit of cloth tied to your offhand or your belt or your helmet. I think everybody's gonna be assigned their, house colors, so yours will be all bright orange and stuff. Rather than just, beat you unconscious, anybody who loses their flag is out, and you have to go sit in your dugout. I had some whole complicated thing about explaining about how it's, the melee was supposed to be where opposing knights would, run at each other in the countryside and thump each other on the head and, ransom them back to their houses and stuff. Anyway, if you lose your flag, you're out. Mechanically, you guys can make cold shots to try and remove them, but you're either going to need to pull it by hand or use a weapon which could reasonably remove a flag that is tied to somebody's arm. Or belt. Or hat. Or leg. I don't know. There's only 6. I'm about to say 5 hit locations. No, that's not true.
I sold up to 5 for a reason for this.
5 limbs and body. Also, like I said, you're gonna have your banner with your house sigil in your dugout. You can put it in your dugout wherever it is, but you're not supposed to fight in your dugouts, but you got to place your banner on it. If the other team steals your banner and takes it all the way back to their dugout, you lose. You've lost the flag. You're a disgrace. Also, you lose the game. If your entire team is knocked out or loses their flags, they're incapacitated, you're donezo. You can't fight a war if you've got nobody left. Again, they're still working on the arena, but they did kind of... I saw a little bit of equipment. They've got some earth moving. There's some, some gardeners and road pavers and fence hole diggers who are real eager out there. So the field will probably be a little different each time. Might have like a shallow trench, a berm. I've got, piles of sandbags, barrels of rainwater, that kind of stuff. Maybe even throw out, racks of spare weapons and shields. I don't know. So there'll be some, terrain stuff in the arena. No, it would probably not be a disarm maneuver. It would be mechanically a cold shot to the hit location. But like I said, you have to be utilizing a tool that could remove it. So unfortunately, for instance, so your blunted chains probably can't yoink a tied, scarf or cloth around somebody's left arm, unless you had the hooks. But you can't have the hooks because you're young people. You're not supposed to be fighting each other with fish hooks. Please don't.
Please don't murder the future heirs of the kingdom. That'd be bad.
But like I said, you can just use like an unarmed or coordination plus a grappling roll also to just try and yoink us. And that's the basics. Like I said, you're gonna have to have a team of minimum 5, max 7. And obviously, unlike the masquerade, this time she does nod out at Nicola. And unlike the masquerade, they will be checking who's going in ahead of time. You got to write your names down and stuff. So there won't be any cheating that way, anyway.
Don't worry. Sorry. Don't worry. I had no intention of doing so.
We're back to this accent. Good. I like this one. Alrighty. So obviously you could ask her in-character questions about it, or just ask for clarification from me for rules. But yeah, team 5 to 7, blunted weapons. You can wear any armor you like. You can carry a shield.
I did have a question. Is it necessarily like kind of a faux pas if you do just go for a knockout instead of going for the flag?
It's still legal to knock people out. It's just one of those things of like, so we don't have to hit literally everybody on the entire team over the head.
Okay.
You can either play capture the flag or
beat everybody up.
Yeah. So the out of character, the goal there is for you and the other teams to have to do a little bit of tactical thinking, because you can risk just sending out everybody to mob the other team, but that means that if they get a couple of guys loose, they can just run back and steal your flag. However, if you split your force and only send 2 guys out to fight and leave 3 guys back to defend your dugout, your 2 guys are going to get their asses beat with no backup. So, gotta do a little thinking.
I have a question.
Yes.
Because this is a very specific, I guess, interaction thing. Because of how Danger Sense gives you an extra die to parry and dodge rolls, and Deflecting Blow, which is a third thing in Noble Dueling, lets you use your sword pool for parrying. Do I also add the bonus from Danger Sense there too?
Nope.
Okay.
Danger Sense is only to the skills named parry.
Okay.
And dodge. It is not to maneuver. Yeah, bears don't have stats. Why do you need to know what a bear is?
Because I needed stats for a spell.
What?
Who knows?
Huh?
I wanted to make a homunculus.
Why are you making a toolbar of a bear?
I don't know.
Bears aren't domesticatable.
Well, technically, anything that you make a Toa out of gets a trainability rating.
True, but that means it's going to be shitty because it's going to be.
I was just thinking of something northern related. We're in the north. I didn't want to step on Konrad's toes by making a dog or a wolf.
Mm.
Well, joke's on you. There's a lot of people who have them. I mean, I
Could make a
have
gorilla.
non-bears. I have demonic evil bear stats that I can probably scooch down.
I'll talk about this later.
Yes. You need 30 days to grow the thing, so it doesn't actually matter.
Oh yeah.
We
The
get
actual
home.
stats don't matter for 31 days.
I do think for a comparison, I think I used for the bear scar, and I think I used the Great Ape stat as a starting level, but had to adjust it anyway. So yes, any pressing questions for me? If not, I will leave you guys for a second to discuss possible rosters because you need a minimum.
Actually, yes, I do have a question.
Okay.
Are they allowed to bring what equipment are they allowed to bring other than like standard armor and weapons? Are they allowed to bring any kind of other things?
Moira kind of scratches her chin and says, "I wasn't really enumerated. According to the ancient bylaws or whatever, it's not like they're gonna confiscate your knapsack. Because like I said, originally the tourney was just knights would wander out in bridges and towns and fight each other. So I think it's okay, but I mean, if you want to bring like a medical kit, you'd have to leave all your scalpels and forceps and stuff behind."
Oh, I was just going to give I was going to give our little princeling a healing potion so he doesn't get killed.
Could probably work.
I mean,
You
we're
could also
using
just
blunted
save it
weapons?
for after that.
That could still happen. You can still die from a blunted. You can still die from a club to the wrong place. I know, Princeling. That's why I wanted to give you a healing potion.
Separate conversation
Oh.
that he's having. Anyway,
Sorry.
I am actually gonna step away again real quick. I'll let you guys figure about rosterification. Remember, you
Anyway,
can go
I'm gonna go
minimum
brew a healing
5,
potion.
maximum of 7, and I will pause my audio and be right back.
How long does it take to fucking make these again?
that would be your purview.
Oh no, Nicola's just saying that out loud to himself. Like, how long is this one again?
I don't know.
Why are all my spells so different in time?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. All right, this one's an easy one. I could do that a day out of my life. I wish it was just all uniform, like, but no, it's like a 5 hours.
I mean, they
4
last
hours,
a week,
3
so you could
hours.
make them now.
You know, you bring up a good point, Princeling. I will make one now. I should probably is cute. All right, this is going to be a complicated question. What's the line of succession at this point?
Leslok, why did you become a princeling?
I mean, actually,
Is expression. He is Sir Royal Highness of our house, not of the realm.
He is Lord Logi.
Yeah,
He's
you don't
our
call peoples of dukes and whatnot princeling. They're not princes.
Sure.
am I
You could
above a
call-
duke? Because it's like I'm a marquis. So...
No,
No, you're below a duke.
Okay, below duke.
Yeah.
You're literally below a duke. You're
Which we
below a
counted-
duke.
Sorry,
above-
I don't. I'm sorry, but like the title,
Yes.
like how the ranking of the titles, like, it's
Duke
not something I
Dan.
remember that well.
Then Marquess and Marquis, and then the other one I forget.
It then goes
I can't remember what the third one was.
it's Duke, Marquis,
Baron?
no, Baron's
Baron's
bottom.
at the bottom.
Baron's at the
Count.
bottom, then
Where's
Count.
no, there's a third one.
Count. It's Duke, Marquis,
Count,
Count.
you're right. Then Baron.
Yes.
I feel like there was
Yeah,
5,
there
and I
we go.
keep forgetting one. Duke, Marquis, Count, Baron.
Lord?
No, that's just the title.
So I should
King
call
or-
you Lordling.
They have like weird ones. Like sometimes you have fucking Grand Dukes and Viscounts and other stuff. But yeah, no, I don't.
Technically, in modern peerage, there is the concept of a viscount, which is the literally means assistant to a count.
Yeah. Yeah, Duke, Marquis,
Trickeron's
Count,
not big enough for them to actually do a
Is-
viscounty.
Is the different titles we have actually matter in the great scheme of things, or is it just
Only when
yes,
you're talking
they
to
are
other
actually,
nobility.
the reason why they're different is because they are actually like rank wise.
Yeah, they're ranked.
You are a
Usually-
Marquess, you're not as big as a Duke.
okay?
Usually
No.
depends on the amount of land you hold.
The
the
two
importance.
the two duchies of the land are more status than the What's the term
Marches.
for a marquess's land?
A march or a mark.
March.
A mark.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It's a duchy or duchy is more status than a mark.
Oh, I was
So,
thinking Earl.
and I
but
believe the
don't
two
think that goes into
duchies
that.
are.
Earl is just
I know one is the White Cheval, and I think the other one is
Grassy and Tron, House Verity.
Verity, right?
Yeah, I don't know if we're using it, but yes, Earl is below Marquess and above a Viscount.
Yeah, we have 3 dukes and the king, and then there's 2 or 3 marquises.
I mean, actually, no.
Marquis.
There's because there's 9 of you. There's 2 of everything.
There's two,
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah, there's 2 of all of them.
Then when there were 13 houses, no, actually, I should also remember I haven't repaused the audio. We're having a discussion about noble ranks for some reason I'm not clear on. When there were 13 houses, it was much more complicated. Like I think there may have been like 3 duchies or dukedoms if you don't want to say duchy, and then unknown numbers of baronies and counties and stuff. I do actually think there's only ever been the 2 marches. Because the reason why a Marquess is higher ranked than a count is because a march is specifically a border region. So they have a bigger territory, which is more needed to be defended. Anyway, I'm back. We're getting back in the moment.
Yeah.
I was going to type this, but you guys were having an interesting conversation, so I jumped in right away, so I'll just say it out loud. This is not a detail Moira would have to repeat to you because it was technically already known, but I am confirming because I've written all the parts of this that it is indeed going to be a 8-team tournament bracket of the traditional style, single elim.
Gotcha. And I am going to be brewing a potion for our lord.
That's fair. I mean, you can do that right now. You got at least.
Oh no, that was the question I had. What's the line of succession? It's Aurelia's next. Then would it be Huden?
No, it's technically
Conrad's
or
next.
if I have a kid.
Yeah, right now until
Alright.
until he has any issue, it's Konrad, then Aurelia, then Huron.
Gotcha. All right, so I can make. How many potions can I make? Hold on.
How many hours does it take?
5
In
minutes.
5 minutes.
Oh, it's 5
and then
minutes.
they last
Okay.
for a week.
And they're good for a week? Okay, then yeah, no.
Or a month if you put them in a storage locker.
I'll just make one for each of you. Why not? It's not like it's material cost 1, so
Yeah,
fucking-
it's I think the prep is supposed to be simple. I mean, you may want to wait until morning so you can go out to the shops and keep buying.
Oh yeah, I have to buy a bunch of shit anyway. Anyone know where I can buy a giant glass jar?
Glassmakers Guild?
Okay,
That's what I was gonna
By
say, yeah.
class.
like one that's the size of a horse.
That would be a custom order at the Glassmakers Guild?
Or
I
maybe something
I
the
don't think they make glass that big.
or the alchemist brotherhood, the alchemist.
Probably the alchemy.
Guild probably
Guild.
has in their own lab.
It's gonna break.
What?
No, I need to bury it in the ground for a month.
What?
Don't worry about it.
Got a weird theory.
No.
Will.
I'm going to worry about it.
Yeah,
I'm making a golem.
Why are you making
a
a
question?
golem?
Because I forget. Because it's been like 2
'Cause
weeks.
it's
Leslok, do you
cool.
have a student of sorcery, or do you just have lore?
Golem?
I just have 5 lore. And
It's an animal made out of clay.
You can still roll.
all right, I'm gonna roll lore then.
All right, cuz why do you want to make an animal
Your
out of
difficulty
clay?
is probably
So that it can
3 or
protect
4.
me in combat, as I am a squishy person.
7.
that'll be useful until it gets hit by water.
So Leslok, alchemy is not your
I feel like
direct purview, but
I have
you
read
do
all
enough
of
reading.
books.
Yeah,
I've read all
we-
those books.
Yeah, we've joked about how you've read like every book in the library at Stonehearth. So
I have read Nicola's books.
yeah, unless he keeps them locked up, I think yes.
I do not.
So
Actually, hang on. I actually might keep this particular book locked up.
but
The idea of it.
you have rolled well enough to be reasonably familiar with the concept of the Takwin, which is the art which creates artificial life. It creates a thing called the homunculus. Basically, the thing he's talking about is, it sounds like he's talking about this process where you get a large glass or stoneware vessel. stoneware would probably be better in this case.
That's a good point.
Fill it up with a bunch of stuff, wrap it in a burial shroud, and plant it in the earth, and wait 31 days, and then an animal springs forth.
Nicola, if you're trying to make homunculi, you should probably wait till we get back home when you have the time.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you before I went and bought it. How long do you think our trip with the prince is going to take?
I don't think it's going to take 31 days, at least in the same place.
All right, I'll wait till we get back home.
It's true. You can't move it. You gotta wait. It hatches.
Honestly, I don't think many people would appreciate a giant clay bear stomping around the capital.
Also, I should
That's a
because
fair point.
Leslok rolled 7s. The animal is not. It's made of clay, but the animal is not actually clay when it comes out. It is
No,
a real
it's-
live creature that needs to like
it's
eat,
fully
drink,
a
and
bear.
breathe and shit.
Because I guess to slightly correct you, the clay transmutes into flesh.
Oh, so it looked like an actual bear. Even better. I can see the panic in the streets already.
No,
Bear!
Enos, you've made your point.
I don't
will
think
make
I
it when
have.
we
Where
get
do you keep
home.
getting these ideas from, cuz?
I don't know.
Is
Well,
it the
maybe
fairy?
you should tell
What's up with
them
that?
no, and maybe run them by us before you commit to things.
I am running the. This is why I'm talking.
Okay, Nicola, this might sound like a farce, but I have to ask this. Has your Fey blood gotten stronger?
Is my what?
That sounds a bit impolite to ask.
I don't. Can that happen? I don't understand that.
Well,
No,
ignoring our
I'm
Lord,
confused.
ignoring our Lord.
I know
here.
nothing about magic. Did you just basically ask him like essentially a social faux pas?
No, he's asking if I'm becoming more trickster-like.
I mean, your
Like
lordship,
a
I was just going
prankster?
with a simple one of like, has he
I
received
guess.
a sharp blow to the head lately?
Yeah, that would
Yeah,
have
that's what I
probably
was
been more
thinking.
appropriate.
Didn't you dine at the Marin household? Are you sure the old girl
Ah.
didn't hit you with a bottle?
That
No,
explains it.
I was just fearing for my life. There's a difference.
Oh, that's why he wants the clay bear, to protect him from the Admiral.
You can't prove that, and I would make a shark if that was the case.
And the
That would-
brain damage.
Shark's not
Moira,
gonna
I
help
think
you
just
on
like
land.
sits up and shrugs and is just like, the shark would actually be stupider.
It's just a layer of tiny legs.
But no, the point
No,
I
I'm not
make.
thinking about that. I think, you're just going to put it in the water where she goes. The bear is already a bad idea.
But no, I'm not gonna let this go. No, Nicola, you're not talking to us about it. You want to do it. You've already planned to do it, and you're just asking us how to do it. There is a difference between the two.
Fair enough.
Anyway, bears aside, I can't believe I said that. Grand melee.
Yeah, so you guys were talking about team-wide. Aurelia's fine, Huron's fine.
Thorin and
Enos suggested Thorin.
yes.
He can do that. He knows which end of a spear or a sword to hold. Let me actually double check how well he knows those things, because I'm pretty sure I tucked him some stats. Oh, no, I did not. Okay. So I'd probably need to run him some if you did want to pick him. But he's not a, I guess, classically trained fencer is how I'd say. He is, he's sharp-eyed. He's not like super well trained for melee. Like the House Amuleters usually like skirmishers or outriders, but he can be a body in a pinch. Another suggestion, possibly. Yerwin Wayland is not a great fencer, but her house is known for making swords. She knows which end to hold. She has, practiced swordsmanship before, and is not afraid to play bodyguard. She is, you did assign her as Aurelia's lady in waiting.
If we stick, I'm not against adding Irwin as well. But like I said, it might have just been my assumption, but I felt like she would try to not be in such physical confrontations. But if she is willing,
I think in no like Aurelia can say straight up, "Oh, she would definitely not prefer it," but we have been talking, and she is my lady in waiting. But we are just trying to find our
well, if we stick
fifth slot, yeah.
If we stick Aren with Aurelia and Thornin with Huron, we can basically just set them up as those two as a pair to basically watch out for each other while the three of us raise hell in specific ways. We might. I would like to get a 7th, though. If we can have a max of 7, we should go for a max of 7.
I still think Logesh should be good for that, but that's
He cannot.
He cannot.
I cannot
right.
participate.
Are you right?
That's why he
Right.
has not been.
I mean,
like Lucy.
It's okay. It's been 2 weeks.
Lucy is eligible, but also Lucy is probably not as great. I think her style is not very compatible with.
Yeah, she is a spearwoman primarily, and occasionally fighting with like a cutlass on a ship deck. You could give her a shield and a spear, and she would like function, but the
harpoon style.
The rules on
sticking people.
throwing things is like a tangential rule. It is not meant to account for the fact that technically her primary style is throw harpoon at people.
Also, her style is out of practicality.
Speaking of spears, though, you have accepted Coralia Blaka.
Yeah, I was wondering
apprentice
about this.
draughtswoman.
That could be a way to work that in.
She is ranked as a squire, and she is now officially being like
Fostered.
Leslok agreed. She's officially being fostered as part of the team. She's not like a proper woman at arms, but she is a squire. She knows which end of a spear to hold, and actually, the order and the headquarters of her house is literally called Twin Spears, so she actually would double wield short spears.
And honestly, I guess as welcome to the family. Now fight for the family.
Well, we like I said, we can only have 7. I think that's a total of 8 right there, because that's Inos, Leslok, Konrad, then Aurelia, Erwin, Huron, Thorin, and Aurelia. So that's 8. So we can drop one of those people, and we'll be at max.
Well, I mean, not
would
to
like to bring up
mechanically fudge
something.
it too much, but go ahead, Conrad.
Like, probably a counterpoint to what Enos is saying about getting the max number of people. I mean, that would be nice, but making sure there's a certain level of skill amongst all of us, just so there aren't any weak links in any formations we do and stuff.
You know what's a weak link? Not having a link in the first place.
Not necessarily.
Yes, necessarily.
Mm-mm.
Since everyone else has full
Okay.
numbers.
Okay, Konrad. If they have 5 people and we have 7, that means we can leave more people back in reserve while we deal with the 5-on-5. Or, if the reverse, that means there's more people on us.
Yes, but if we have like 3 or so weaker people, then it doesn't matter if they're bodies; they'll just be taken out real easily.
And in the time that they're taking out, we'll be able to score against them.
I disagree.
Well, yes.
I will say scoring is kind of an all or nothing thing. The fight's only over either when one team is incapacitated or their banner is taken.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think that in this point of conversation, probably Aurelia would pipe in and say, I mean, I understand the point you're making, Enos, but there is the long term. If we are going to win these matches, we probably don't want everybody on our team to keep getting smacked on the head all the time. It is all taking place over the course of one afternoon, probably. Or one morning. Oh, I hope it's not morning.
Okay.
That would be.
Well, fine. Then Conrad will be the leader, and I will step out of this.
Fine, if you want to do that. That's...
I did.
Strokes her chin.
Take as few as you want, Conrad.
Fine. I will.
I feel like we are maybe getting a bit too...
Just tell me how many
Emotional
potions I need to
about
brew in
this.
the morning.
I feel like there's a moment here, and then, like I said, Aurelius kind of stroking her chin and is like, hold on a minute. We're doing the thing again. Isn't technically this the business of the Marquess, who's the head of our house?
Ah, yes, our
How
Lord
many
and
people do
Savior.
you want? Brother?
I would.
Lord Brother?
I'd rather have everyone that's actually capable be involved.
Well, there's that word capable again.
What do you consider capable, brother?
I'm thinking, but also looks like actually thinking about it.
I'm gonna
In and out of
just
character thinking, yes.
start brewing potions.
Well, it is like late at night. You could wait until the next day. I also am ready to refresh everybody on what day 2 of the competition is, because we're still in night of day 1.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
If I remember correctly, it's very.
But we'll do that in a
animal-heavy.
second. Sorry, what was that, Lucky?
If I remember, it was very animal centric.
Yes.
Yeah.
Honestly, to me, it's everyone that knows they can put up a fight and last long enough. Go for the whole melee.
I mean, I wasn't 100% sure if you would be recruiting them or not. And I can work on their stats really quick, but Thorwin and Yerwin would probably be on one of the minimum side of that. Like, their number of dots in melee weapon is probably going to be like 1 or 2. And I don't think either of them have any particular advantages. That's the word I'm looking for. They don't have any particular advantages about like extra hitboxes. But like out of character, I did talk about tactics. Inos does have a point of, body blocking. Like that can be an advantage because you guys have not out loud anyway asked the question of, oh yeah, how many members can each other house field? You don't actually know how big the other teams are going to be.
Yeah.
You can make some guesses.
Normally I would agree with Konrad, but because of the specific scoring system, I do think Russian tactics are called for.
Because something we also sometimes don't. Everyone doesn't need to be a runner. One person can just be a runner and don't have to actually be like directly fighting. Oddly enough.
What are we running? Isn't it protect the flag?
Well, you can also capture the other guy's flag. How do you think your flag gets
Yeah.
stolen?
True.
That would be something that I think Thorin and Emir would be good at. But you'd have to cover for him a little, because like I said, he's more of a scout and a rider, not a...
I think that's a tactic we can
fighter.
use depending on who we're facing. Which I think
that's
is
one of the reasons why I was suggesting we pair up the debutantes together, make them basically stay together as a unit, so they're never necessarily singled out. That's why I was specifically thinking, like Irwin and Aurelia, Horn and Thorin, and then the three of us would, adapt. The rest of us would adapt as necessary. But no, they're weak links.
All right, I apologize, but I actually agree with Inos' sentiment. I think we should have more people capable,
More we
because
can
even
do.
if they're not going to be directly
I would
fighting,
say-
we should at least people have in the fight if needed.
Also,
As
you
you
should
say,
give
brother.
Konrad or Leslok the flag. You want a good
Well, no,
fighter
your
holding it.
banner stays in your dugout. It's a location.
Oh,
you
it's
have
not
to defend.
okay.
It's actual capture the
misunderstood.
flag,
Yeah.
my dude.
Yeah.
Okay,
People have-
then I
people
think
have stuff
you
on
should-
them
It
you
is
can
all
pull,
flag
that's separate.
football, because that's how you take out people again without literally knocking them out. But yes, you have a banner that is in your base, and you lose by them taking your banner from one base to the other base.
People
Yes,
are wearing
that's-
stuff you
that's
can
what
pull
your
off of
question
them, but
is.
that's a whole other thing.
Okay. I guess in that case, would you prefer, because you do have technically an extra with the option to go with Coralia, would you prefer to put her in, or to go the pairings Ina suggested, Yerwin and Thorin as well?
I think we should have them in there, but
Sure.
Okay, I have a more world based. I don't know why I'm doing the accent when I'm not in character.
Yeah, that I don't know either.
I have a more world based question.
Yes.
Is this because this is something we should consider? Because I mean, we are a noble house. Would participation in this melee be a symbol of like status, because
Oh, I mean, obviously, yeah, that's why it's a
if
competition.
that's the case, I do think inviting our new member is a good idea because it shows our intent on how we would treat people that seek our patronage.
They have to fight and get beat up for you?
No, they get the honor of fighting and getting beaten up for us. It's all about praising.
I am not about that personally.
That's fair.
Which is why I think we should ask her the question if she wants to do it or not. It's not, we can't doing it.
I will
Yeah.
simplify because I have to multitask now.
Yes.
She is not against the prospect, but also with the way you have proposed it, she would not necessarily want to break up the formation's not the right word, but like
Step on anyone's toes.
yeah, I guess like you with the proposed plan of the way the team is arranged, you know,
Sorry about that. My internet cut out a bit.
Oh no.
okay. But the proposed way the teams are arrayed, or the team, your team is arrayed, you would not want to like I said, like step on any toes or break anything up.
Between our debutante, like, how do shields work on with armor?
Ah, okay. You wish to know about shieldies?
Yes.
So, you know, armor has its own, you know, levels of work there. So basically, you've got large or small shields.
Mm-hmm.
A smaller shield protects either basically the arm you're holding it in, or
Mhm.
part of it anyway, for location 4 or 6. And if it's small or one location of your choice, so you can do a third thing. Large shields is 4 or 6 and a location of your choice because they're bigger. So you can like hold it over your hit location 7, a torso location, and basically they give you their armor rating at the defended location.
Okay.
So this could be useful if you wanted to protect like your flags, because like you wear it on your offhand anyway, and then you just like, okay, so I'm carrying the shield in my offhand.
Because what I'd like to do is I'd like to put our debutantes on basically kind of a more defensive role. Like I said, put them to groups and give each pair a large shield. So we'll have, and each pair will have a defender and an attacker. So they can basically watch out for each other while the rest of us try to get in there. Personally, I favor defensive tactics like this, so... And I don't necessarily want our debutantes getting beat up over the head, so I think having them focus on getting them in maybe stronger armor and bigger shields to shore up the back line would probably be preferable.
Well, you gotta be careful about heavier shields, because those are act like medium armor, so they're more restrictive, adding difficulty to some of your actions.
What actions do they add difficulties to?
I'm already in that section, so let me look at armor restrictions. Let's see. Medium armor gives you difficulty 3 on all stealth, climb, run, endurance, and athletics rolls.
Okay.
And heavy armor gives you a -2 penalty on climb and run, and a difficulty 4 on endurance and athletics. You do not stealth in heavy armor.
So... Well, we're gonna have to get everyone fully kitted out in light armor minimum.
It's pretty easy to do, yeah.
And for the shield barrels, I still think I want to give them a large shield each, just because it will protect more, and it will protect more, and hopefully keep any opponents they have at bay until we can. Well, to either their there is a term for it. It's not necessarily phalanx fighting, but
Flank?
No, that's like going around. There's a few different kinds of shield tactics. What do you? What I guess is the kind of style of formation you're thinking of, Lucky?
Well, no, it's just I don't necessarily think it's a style or anything. Just one has a shield, one has a large shield, the other probably has a small shield, and the one with the large shield always tries to put themselves between the attacks while the other one goes on the attack.
There probably is a type of name for that kind of two-man fighting. I do not know it off the top of my head.
No, but
yeah, I know what you're thinking of.
So, and those two sets will, defend our flag.
Yeah.
That's my thought. I don't know if anyone has any different ideas.
Well, and I know that, like, Loth's typed about, like, he's got some thoughts and stuff. I mean, you can make your observations out loud. You can probably make a tactics roll, but it would not necessarily be to give advice, but would be more to answer questions. At least this early, there's only so much advice you can give because you don't know what the exact definition of the arena is and who you're going to be fighting.
Yeah, when I say advice, I mean like because like Konrad has mentioned his idea, Inos has mentioned his idea. I just want to be like, so here's the pros and cons for that, and just just make
you can
this.
definitely roll tactics to kind of like analyze both ideas.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, just didn't want to get in the middle of that.
No, that's fine. We're having a lot of discussion. This is why I've. It's funny that we got distracted by some other part of the conversation. This is originally what I planned when I took a bio break like 30 minutes ago. Of like, okay, so now they're going to talk about team rosters.
When
We got distracted by bears.
I blame you for that.
It's true. It is his fault. All right, no, that's the wrong chapter.
Wrong.
Character generation.
Character sheet there.
Going to
Tactics, you say?
Yes.
I'm gonna use the master die as a 10.
Ooh, 3 10s. Okay. So as you already said out loud, both plans do kind of have their pros and cons. Like Konrad is like, well, we've got some. I don't actually know if Konrad is being mean about it. Whether he would say mediocre or just, not high level fighters, and stuff. But this is something that I alluded to earlier that Inos did talk about, is that with your 10s, actually, once again, in character or out of character, I don't know, and nobody said out loud any tallying up of what the other teams are like, but Logesh, you do some quick math. With 3 10s, you reckon that probably most of the other houses are gonna be mostly minimum teams. They're gonna be trying real hard to hit that 5. It's possible a couple of houses might be able to get 6 or 7 man teams. Like, you don't know exactly who's everybody got in reserve, but most of your possible opponents are gonna be struggling to hit 5 good fighters. So Enos's plan of kind of like having extra bodies to play defense against shenaniganery, I guess we'll say, like unusual tactics, will mean that you guys will still keep a numerical advantage. But obviously, not necessarily in line with what Konrad was saying specifically, but just in general, you are going to have to be willing to use your reserves, because it is possible that, there's going to be entire 5-man teams who are going to like try and fight the 3-player characters who are going to be in, Inos, Leslok, and Konrad. And I don't know how well that's going to go. So, like, you guys do have the opportunity for a numerical advantage, but you're going to have to be willing to press it. And if you're not willing to press it, having smaller numbers of better fighters just all be up in the biz is good, would be better. But like I said, both, as you even said, to, weigh the pros and cons, both to have their kind of advantages and disadvantages.
Okay, thank you. And as I said before, this will be something Logesh would say out loud to everyone present.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Logesh repeats roughly what I just said in a more Logesh way.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Do we have to field our entire team every time?
Yes, you are gonna register your team beforehand, and you're supposed to, if possible, do that team. Moira does not know specifically what happens if you get an incident where a person is unable to continue. You don't know if you get to substitute or will have to drop.
Mm-hmm.
But you are supposed to register the names of your team and go in with that team each time.
I have a question in that case.
Lucky, do you have a follow-up?
Well, yeah, a follow-up to that. Would it not be... this sounds so bad saying it, but would we not then be incentivized to... Like, if we were the last... Oh, it's a tournament bracket, right?
Yes, it's a bracket.
Never mind, it's a bracket tournament. Ignore my thoughts. I was going to say, if it wasn't a bracket tournament, you could just aim to take people out of the competition and win by default. But if it's a bracket tournament, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I would
Aren's blue
recommend
is hard for me
Shattered
to-
Kneecap.
It's hard for me to read.
I'd recommend Shattered Kneecaps, personally.
Like I have like the super saturated blue, but Aaron's name is like a really like dark blue. Or that, or I'm just losing my eyesight and I can't read names anymore.
I think it's both. His blue is darker than
Well,
yours.
what is the
whale blue
background
is a little
color of your
darker.
Discord?
I assume night mode.
Yeah.
I mean, there's very color.
No,
There's very color
I-
settings nowadays.
It's been a while since we've had some complaints about it, but I could adjust the hue on the whale color. That I believe is the dominant color of Aaron's name.
Yeah, because I can read my name, but Aaron's blue is
I
a
don't
little
remember where
harder
it
to
is, but
read.
I'm trying to
I
remember
will-
this.
I've misread
Think about
his name
remembering to do
several
that
times,
after the session.
but I can still make out Aaron tell.
I remember that
Just
trying to find it
occasionally
because I
read his
remember there
name
being a
as
thing
the
where you,
Wangman.
I remember there being a thing where you could
Darkman.
change. Yes, you can change the color of your.
Anyway, that doesn't matter. For right now.
But there, so I didn't change the color or something.
You can change the color, so you can change his ability depending.
Yeah, I was about to say, if I don't picture Lucky as the type of person to run day mode.
Day mode. Ah.
Damn you.
But obviously, you don't actually have to register until the day of the tournament. And as Aaron did bring up in the text box, there will be a more formal discussion of the rules. Like I said, I have a formula for how the blunted weapons work. It's not just your weapon does full damage, but it's all shock, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
So that will probably be something we can discuss on a technical level later.
Wait, hold on, I need to check something.
But
Well, I'm not going to hold on. We're going to keep going while you check
Because he said
something.
we're not... Yeah, no.
Yep.
Yeah,
But yeah, I was gonna say. So if you've got your rough idea for what you want for the tournament, we
Yes.
can scooch to the next day.
Scooch to the next day.
Okay. So let me. It's gonna be slightly awkward because I was down a different part of my document tabulating NPC stats. And the funny part is, earlier today I relooked at my stats and I'm like, do I have everything I need? Am I good? I mean, yeah, for all your opponents. Not sure why I didn't think to double check allies. Just because for the sake of consistency, it is good to have everybody in your house have stats. But where is my notes about the day of the 2nd? It'll be at the bottom of the masquerade. It's not at the bottom of the masquerade. Is it at the top of the masquerade?
no, that gives it killing damage. That would work.
Okay, no. I I'm a weird one. Okay, so it's going to start early at the hunt. Then it's going to be followed by falconry, lunch break, horsemanship, then jousting, dinner break, portrait contest in the evening. Inos is already locked in as the model for portraiture. Good for you. He super volunteered immediately. Technically, I think you volunteered across time,
Yes, I did.
but I'll allow it because it's much
Across
funnier and more
time and
dramatic
space.
that way.
Yes, no, like you were talking about in a meeting, and I was just like, Shoulder Enos tells you can volunteer Enos for this, and he'd totally be down for it.
Yeah,
And then
it's great. I love that. But other than that, you guys can participate at will. Whom of you wish to perform in the hunt? I am personally imagining that once again, Inos is gonna sleep in and skip it.
he will not be sleeping in. But he will not. I don't think he's not going to be doing any of these competitions. He'll show up for portraiture, but other than that, he is going to be working and running errands.
Fair enough. It is literally in my notes because it is once again the back-to-back horse course for the afternoon of day 2. I'm just like, so probably another long afternoon where the characters can do other shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty much going to be doing the same as Lucky because I don't think I do not think my sister is she performing in the portraiting contest?
I do not think she has a specific art skill, so probably not.
Okay, then yeah,
She's more of a reader than a painter.
I'm probably not because I don't think she's participating in anything else. So
I'll double check if she's got
I mean, maybe hunting, but
sense plus direction. Extra sense skills. No direction.
okay, fair enough.
Yeah, her one bit in like a performer expert skill is she has 1 die in dance. That's it.
Nice. But yeah, no, I will probably just be doing errands all day because the melee's tomorrow, right? Or the day after?
We don't know.
You do not know for sure. Moira said it would be
Fair
at
enough.
least the 3rd or 4th day.
Because there is a potion I want to brew for Leslok that does take a little while, so I want to get the materials for that.
Sure enough. Show enough.
Because spoiler, or I'll just tell you guys because I think it'd be good. I want to brew a Leslok a stone skin elixir, and that one does actually take a chunk of time.
Does it give you some extra armor?
So I can't just like poop them out like I can healing potions.
Poop.
Because I'm like, it's
That'll
5
just be
minutes.
5
I could just
hours,
make
yes.
like 7 of them immediately.
Yeah, I don't think you have enough time to just crank out one for the entire squad because it is like a 5.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna make 1 for Leslok. Or wait, who's the least armored?
I mean, that depends on how much armor you want to put because armor is like it's a penalty. It's not like you don't have to worry about
It might
your
be
armor
Inos.
training feat.
Wait, what's your body, Inos?
2.
What's your body, Leslok?
2.
Okay, it'll be Leslok then. Sorry, Inos. He is the Lord.
Body also has nothing to do with how many. How much
what armor
damage
you
you
wear?
take.
That's a good point. No, I thought it was how much armor you could wear.
No, we mentioned this earlier. Medium armor is just a flat difficulty. Heavy armor is penalty dice or a difficulty. And it's in both coordination and body skills. So
Fair enough.
that said, I do feel like at most, Leslok and Inos would go to medium. At most.
Yeah.
But you can look at the armory document for a fine selection of light and medium armor.
I was
will
mostly gonna
probably be
do
giving it to Leslok then.
I was mostly doing like the light armor for like boots and body, but I was going to wear a medium helm because technically it only has a lightweight. It does 2 AR. The iron
Because
helm.
here's the nice thing.
Yeah, you can wear an iron hat. It's all.
You have to drink the healing potions as an action, but you can drink the stone skin potion before the event starts, and it lasts
It will last
for
at least 2
however many
hours.
hours.
It will last at least.
that should probably get you through at least a couple of matches.
Yeah, I would imagine. Hopefully you fight Espada first.
We'll see how that goes. I'll drink it accordingly.
I imagine the heavy
Inos
hitters
is
are going
already
to be...
tabulating his errands for the day. So anybody, does anybody actually want to go out and either observe or be in the hunt?
Conrad
Oh,
will observe the hunt in the falconry.
I feel like I should I feel like I should observe all these because I just my position.
No, that's fair. It is kind of you are in. We've discussed this before, and also I think I thought of it today when I was actually double checking my notes. The people listening and the players will be happy to know that I did actually do a little bit of back end padding writing to make sure everything's covered. I do not actually think we will go through the entire Grand Melee today unless you guys lose the first round, because that would be 3 total fights if you make it all the way to the finale. And just combat is combat, but I was able to effortlessly slide myself back into doing background research and writing about things and stuff. So there's no need to worry about, just because I've been thinking about space, I'm not losing my rain grip.
Space.
But yeah,
But while I
you're
was
saying?
thinking about that,
Things
because
and
I was
stuff.
thinking about the whole length of the contest, I was like, yeah, Leslok is in an interesting place because he is a fully ranked Marquess, but he's not actually got a hard and fast position on the King's Council. So you're just kind of a free agent. You don't have
He
to
is
actually
Lord.
run anything, but
He's Lord person.
I'm a high-ranking official. I should
Yeah.
at least be there.
no. So it's fair. You can definitely go watch. I will
'Cause
double check my notes for who's good at the hunt in a second. Spoilers, one of those might be Thorin. I have to actually see. Let's see.
I think you mentioned that he was at falconry.
Oh, he will definitely be at the falconry, and I'm gonna make sure to give him some of my better. Pick the option that gives him good dice in a animal trainer. Do we want to give him? Oh, let's see. Would it be better to assign him the stat block from squad leader or foot soldier? I think squad leader. I will, instead of giving him 4 command, I will move the extra stat die to body. Actually, no. Let's do coordinate. I'm god of this world. I can make the rules, but that gives him a better skill spread.
I just get more with that.
But yeah, so the hunt will once again be taking place in one of the game reserves outside of the city very slightly. You can wake up and go out to the hunting lodge and eat a hunty breakfast.
Huntsman's breakfast.
Yeah.
You will notice my description of the meals post prologue are a lot less elaborate because I'm no longer trying to immerse us in this universe as much. Hopefully you know what you're eating.
I am already immersed. I'm pre-immersed.
You can save that for when we have a grand feast at some point that's not this week in game.
Yeah.
My immersion.
So, fight, ride. Sorry, I will. Once I write these skills down, I will talk about what the hunt is like. And any other, while we're talking about daily errands, because Lucky's typing what Inos is doing. Anything else besides just getting basic ingredients for your potionings that you're planning, Nicola? I know you said you had a couple of things
Sorry,
you
what?
wanted to do, but shopping. You talked
Oh,
about
we'll
possibly
just-
running errands today. Is it just going to
Yeah,
be potion
mostly just
ingredients
pick up-
because you're not going to buy a bear-sized earthenware jar?
Yeah, yes. No, I will not buy the bearer-sized stoneware jar.
Oh, big fucking jar.
Yet. That'll
Yeah,
be
I know.
that's on my list for when we get home.
I think you already got the mirror, right?
Yes, I think you did that yesterday.
Okay, cool. Just
But
I
yeah,
think
no,
about that.
I will buy all my potion ingredients, and I probably want to check in on Alias in the afternoon
Okay.
during
We'll get to
the
that.
horsemanship events.
You will have some free time. So we'll get there when we get there. Okay. Duh, hunts. So going to the game reserves outside of Lampclair in the early morning. you're gonna be running through the hunting. In the prologue we talked about the hunting rules. There are a few different tools you can utilize. This is actually a sense plus direction roll to actually like track and hunt prey. Honestly, the people who are the bestest at that are probably either the Marin twins or their younger sister, because they are a steady hand with a gun to actually shoot ground fowl, and they come from an island culture where occasionally you just have to put the anchor out the boat and just hop on an island to see if you can make lunch. So they're good at fishing, hunting, etc. So they've got good direction scores. Kind of your surprising member might be that I think it's Aren from House Eich. She is an apprentice culinarian, so she knows a few things about like edible herbs, which is an alternative if you are opposed to shooting ground fowl or hitting them with a stick. So those are all very good possibilities.
One day, someone's just gonna make a huge array of like net traps in the park.
I don't know. I don't know if they'll have enough time for that.
Fair.
But okay, I will make some. None of the player characters who can participate are participating, right? In the hunt, I should say.
I am not.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
probably just going to see the result.
Okay, that's fair. I just wanted to double check before I start rolling dice. And also, I typed exclamation point roll for a second. That's wrong. Polly.
Almost gotta make it with it.
Almost, but I remembered because I paused. Let's roll. Like I said, we'll roll 4s for basics. Nothing.
Nada.
And just double check to be certain. Yes, no, Aurelia doesn't have any direction. Huron doesn't have any direction. I may actually need to give him. I may need to give Huron another skill package. I'm looking at his skill list. It's very skinny. I know he is only 15, but the poor boy is like. I mean, he's good at things that'll be useful in the melee. The boy has fight 3, parry 2, sword 3.
I think when Konrad was 15, I think he had a bit more skills than Aren.
I know, but also you guys are player characters.
Maybe
you get
not as
more
high.
flexibility. Yeah, he's decently focused. It's just that like Huron is currently sense 2, no sense skills, none of them.
Oh no.
Knowledge 2, tactics 1. That's it. Like he's not very broad. He's very focused. I might pick up a couple of flavor skills for him later, but
Flavor.
we're checking my NPC skills, so nobody in your squad is a real big standout yet.
I wish I could do something to easier for Leah to try.
I mean, she just doesn't have the skills for it. She's also only sense 2. Hunting is a common pastime for nobles. I think I've correctly judged it that not a lot of nobles are good at hunting. That's why they usually go out hunting with like 6 of their burly friends and a bunch of dogs.
It's more about the vibes.
Yeah.
Because half the time they don't really get anywhere.
Listen, it's just like going out with your friends and just shooting in the woods.
I think I will just roll 1 pool for the. Actually, it's funny. Both of the twins have 6 dice in this, but they have 6 dice for different reasons. I'll roll 1 60-10 pool for the Marins and not fuss about it too much.
Oh, Jesus.
10s.
Well.
Okay, I think the twins are doing good.
Things would be hard to beat that.
Yeah, anybody else got crazy, like, direction? No. Okay. Yeah, we've already rolled the equivalent for the other characters. Yeah, so actually, a little surprising, but again, not to those of you who were thinking too much. House Marin actually comes away with the hunting win. I will say for flavor, obviously you guys don't know for sure because you were just observing, you weren't in the thick of it, but it is the younger member, Alarion Marin, who comes back with, catching a large fish and the two twins come back with slightly smaller fishes. Again, you don't know if it was a strict arrangement of that's actually who caught the fish, and we may have just strategically rearranged the fish. But Marin takes a dub. So next is the falconry competition. You are going to have to give me a second to finalize Thorin's stats because he is going to be good at it. And since I'm giving him a full stat block, I may as well make sure he's actually got his dice scores.
Nodding.
Yeah.
And again, if there's any... I mean, if we want to, like, practically kill time, Dallas can start rolling some of his alchemy checks. Because you do have all day.
Yep.
I think most of them will keep. Right, so
All of them
Keep
keep
early,
for at least a week.
minimum. The healing potions are a week, and then the stone skin lasts a month on its own.
I'll do stone skin first, just because, meh.
That takes 5 hours.
yeah, I'll use the most time. It's true. We're going to be doing that all morning.
Oh, I need to decide a mission.
Oh, yeah. Are you clocked out a mission?
Yeah.
This is another thing with, like, the taking a couple weeks off, technically.
Yeah, no. Because I think
Country
like I
music.
said, I did decide that yes, no, the debutantes are in the thick of it, so my job there is done.
Yeah, I decided on a new mission, although it won't kick in for a little bit.
I need to. Lucky, could the music box be yours?
That's what I was going to think. Would you let me finish my thoughts?
Well, you weren't thinking them out loud yet.
Yes, because Dallas was talking. Do you want me to just start cutting people off too?
No.
The sun is a deadly laser.
That's not even...
I heard that inflection of the no. That's what my thought was.
I did kind of say the no that way, I guess.
But yes, I was going to ask,
no.
could the completion of the music... No, actually, let me add on a... Gifting the music box to the princess. Can that be my mission?
Yes, that sounds like a practical goal that has a solid endpoint for you
Okay.
and would assist you on rolls to make it and
Yes.
also to give it.
Yes. I will mark that then. Thank you.
Okay, and then...
I'll figure out a mission eventually.
Well, you said you had something in mind, but you weren't quite sure. You know.
But it doesn't come up for a little bit, so maybe I can do
Okay,
something
that's fair if
between.
you want to leave it off. I mean, if it's something
'Cause
you
it
can't
has to
work
do
on-
with the road trip.
Okay, you can hold on to that. I mean, you could set it up now if you want to, but you can also hold
Yeah, I
on
might
to it.
do that. Because I don't have anything better to think of. So it's probably to make sure Alias enjoys his road trip.
You do know you're only going to be there for like a little bit of it, and he's going to go...
Well, yeah, but make sure he enjoys the leg we're part of.
Yeah, there's a version of that phrasing that I think works.
Look, most of my goals have had to do with other people.
That I think does actually kind of slot in with what we described Nicola's character as at a high level early on.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's only 16. We won't go just crazy deep on that.
Okay, 3. No, don't copy my ad message. Alright. So there's 7 participating?
Yes. You're going to
Whoops.
attempt to go full rosterino.
Okay, so with 2.
The hell?
Just ignore it. Because it copies the at as well. With 2.
Yeah, healing potion is what, diff 1?
With 3, yeah, they're all diff 1.
Yeah, so any match makes it.
Yeah. Stone Skin was diff 2, luckily, so I still made it with my 3 2s. There's 1 diff 3. or with 3 rather.
Good to know it lasts will last.
Two
3
twos, two
more.
threes.
No, the earthen skin is with 3 and 1 healing potion out of the 4 I've made so far.
Okay. I was a little concerned because Dallas was breaking up a little there, but I caught the gist of that.
Same.
Oh, I tried to do 2 ones and it broke. Okay.
Now that time it seemed like Dallas was much more breaking up-y.
I think
I have nothing to add.
Oh, there goes Dallas. He did indeed break up. He has been gooped.
Deleted.
Broke up and descended into orbit.
How many rolls did he make? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. I think he started with the stone skin. Yeah, so he's not all the way done yet.
I got one more. I think.
Well, he would have 8 total rolls, so he didn't go there yet. Okay. I think his internet is reworking.
Am I live again? Okay.
Yes.
There we go. All right, so I've got 1 with 2 with 3s and 4 with. Oh no, that didn't count. So
Yeah, one of those didn't go through.
2 with 3s and 3 with 2s. That would be with 3. So 3 with 3s. That would be with 3. So 4 with 3s, 3 with 2s, and then the 1 earthen potion that is with 3. So you can figure out who gets a with 3 and a with 2. I'm just going to provide them.
Yep. Type out what your totals are there, just for the sake of we can look it up later.
Earthen.
All right. And I am sorry about some slight delay on the run through there, but here's the stamp logs Thorin Amir has. And the reason why I couldn't run it through is because we're going to observe falconry. Does anybody wish to participate in falconry?
I don't have a falcon.
That's fair.
I'm too old.
I mean, I should also say the event and the practice is called falconry, but it can even be the actual act of the falconry hunting can involve falcons, hawks, eagles, even owls, and other raptor species. Corvids are not usually trained for falconry style hunting, but they would allow you to do some like basic handling and task show off. Rooking, as it may be called.
I think it's fine. I was
Yeah,
considering like, what is the actual determine who wins? Whoever gets most valuable, because Blot could go find some shiny stuff somewhere.
Yeah, there would be an opportunity for you to show off your skills a little, but it would not necessarily be a like role to win the competition. It would be kind of like a side event.
I might do side event like to demonstrate like Rook's other skills rather than falconry. So,
but primarily falconry, expert animal training under command. So just fun falconry fact. You have some broad categories here which do different things and have different tasks. There are broad wings, hawks and eagles, short wings, goshawks and sparrowhawks, and then long wings, falcons and kestrels. You use different things for hunting different prey. Normally, you use them to work with groundfowl and hares, but you can use them to hunt foxes. And even if you're using a broadwing, which is a very big bird, you can use falconry to hunt wolves. This is a real life fact. I think they do that in Mongolia. They do raptoring with eagles, and they will scare off wolves. Crazy. They can also be used, to scare off other birds or to clean up rats and other pests. Some species can know how to fish as well. Now, interestingly, traditionally, like back to the most ancient traditions, you do falconry on horseback and accompanied by dogs, but it's also being done increasingly on foot, and that's kind of the format we're here. You're just running out to the park range, which has been converted. There are some animal-shaped decoys, for them to try. So you're going to work with, basic handling with gauntlets, hood, and straps, exercises using lures, simple commands to fly and return, that kind of thing. No live prey, but there will be, prey-shaped targets for, again, exampling there. And our best pick for this is indeed probably Thorin. Rocco Focon, under House A, also knows a few things. But,
Knows a thing or
as you
two
can
because
see,
he's seen a thing or two.
Yeah, like he's got one mo. I don't know if that means he puzzled the recordifier. I will hold a second.
Hold.
Did I? Yeah, I paused. I paused my end just in case. But yeah, there are Thorin stats there. As you can see, he's not super great at fight defying. He's got some decent dice and some stuff.
Lucky you're not dead.
I'm not dead anymore.
Okay.
Yay!
Wonderful.
I am resuming my end of the recording. No problem. But you can see that he does have 3 command, 2 an animal trainer. And I'm not going to slow the session down further by figuring out exactly where those 3 points in animal companion go, but he has some number of animal companions, so we'll give him at least 1 bonus die for that. And with 3 points, it might even be more.
That's a no on
that.
Konrad.
You'll roll the 6.
Damn.
3 6s, okay.
Nice.
Oop, almost did it again. Caught myself.
Damn it!
Not gonna get me yet. Not yet. Yeah, the rest of the crew can't do it. So yeah, no. Definitely, Thorin kind of takes it away. Like I said, he brought in a couple of family birds, specially. Probably has a couple different types. Like may have a long wing and a short wing kind of a thing. And we'll go through all of that business, beeswax, all that stuff. Business. Yeah. So he takes a win, and so does your house. Does get to kind of show off what they got going on. So the next phaseth. Sorry, I was not stun locked, but my brain did do that thing where I shift gears and I think, I'm like, what skill would be raising bees? Probably would still be animal handling.
Expert apiary.
You could also do expert apiarist.
Expert bees.
No, that's when you're an expert in bees nuts.
Oh,
Got him. Send him home.
fuck.
Okay, take critical damage. Critical pun damage.
Like you really wasn't ready for that one.
I didn't even do that one.
No, but I did it to you. Because you pitched it softball.
All right,
Anyway,
I got my scream out. I had to mute though.
That was
Anyway,
for psychic damage there.
So, back to the hippodrome, the actual horse race course. Are you guys going?
I mean,
It's
Unfortunately,
horsemanship, then joust.
I was going to try and bug Alias at this time, unless he's busy.
Yes, that's fair.
I don't think anyone I'm particularly interested is doing stuff. I don't think.
We really don't like House.
But
I
we're
can't
like
even
okay.
remember the fucking
We're okay
name.
at House Cheval.
Yeah, no,
No,
we're
that
okay with
one.
House Cheval. We're doing a trade deal with them, but like
We're just not interested in them in any way.
Well, I'm gonna be there because I also think so, see it because she's a big
What?
equestrian.
I think it's more that we have very different house skill sets. So
it's true. We don't have a lot of horse on Tyne.
True.
So yeah, no.
Uh,
Inos will probably be working in his workshop, polishing
still
gems.
pre-prep for the music box or any other specific things you're working on?
Yeah, pre-prep for the music box. Like his desk is like covered in well, yeah, probably scrolls. I probably don't want to say like straight up paper because he is paper's still kind of expensive, right?
Yes.
Yes,
It's a mechanical thing to work out. You would,
one thing that's
if you were
small,
doing
right.
loose leaf sketches, it would be like, it probably would be vellum.
Yeah, then it's like his desk is like rolled up, his workspace is like covered in like rolled up vellums and measurement tools.
Paper's smuggled, also, right?
Yes, it's because paper's valuable.
Yeah.
It's a highly taxed item.
Yes, but no, over these past couple days, I think Enos has actually finally got the design in. Got the design right, and then went and put in the orders, and then had that moment of shit. Was that right? And then went back immediately and started looking over his sketches again. So yeah, he's
Also, yes, I have seen Axe's note. I did think that's what you said. You did break up a little for me there, Axe, but
I was putting it there just because other people were talking.
No, that's good. But yes, no, I caught that. Thank you for typing. But yes, no, you can have another. I didn't even know if. Oh yeah, no, I guess it's kind of a date in our sense of dating. You can have another small date with Narissa and just sit up in the stands. You're probably up there with the rest of the watching royal family adjacent, looking cool, looking like a cool guy.
This is one of her things, so it's like it would be right of me to,
Yeah. No, and yeah, because that is a good point. I'm glad you did think of that because yes, and Narissa absolutely would be attending because she is one of a handful of people who are good at horse. Also, honestly, speaking about that, Nicola, if you did want to have a word with Prince Alias, you would have to do it at the Hippodrome because the whole family's going to be there for him, and
She is in fact a horse girl.
well, I feel like Dallas said that like a million years ago, and I only just heard it now.
It is possible.
It's a very weird lag. But yes, Agave will be there.
Okay, so he'd be in attendance.
Yes.
Alas, I will have to bother him tomorrow.
He really don't want to go to the Hippodrome.
Because I'm not dumb enough to bother him in front of the royal family.
Well,
It's
I
my
don't want to
errand.
say. I don't want to say. I do also think Dallas is lagging, but I don't want to say that Nicola knows his limits. But I think Nicola understands the conceptual idea of a limit. He knows what the word limits means, at least. No word on if it's his limits.
There we go. Okay. Hi, I'm alive.
Okay.
No, I said I'm gonna bother. I said I'm gonna bother him tomorrow because I'm not gonna bother him in front of his family.
Yes, we did catch that. I think you were being
Okay.
like delayed a little, but yeah, we heard. I made a joke about Nicola not yet understanding his limits, but he understands the definition of a limit.
Yes, I will. In fact, then just I guess go and watch. I guess.
Okay.
I don't really have anything else to do.
You've got a couple of people, like I literally just posted Thorin's stat blocks. He's got like 1 in ride. You've got a couple of people who've got some very basic writing down.
I think the only person I know who has any ability with horses isn't even at the capital this year. So
So there's a few optionals.
yeah, I'll just watch at the hippodrome.
Yeah, and like I said, it's horse plus then joust. Ecther Cheval is favored for both, and I'm since you guys are at such a low level of participation, I am not even going to roll. I think I can safely say that he can do it, especially because I do think he has either an expert die or a master die in it. I should, at least for the sake of comparison, check. Okay, yeah. So he's got a decent base in it. So he can clock in both those wins. I would say that he's not, even though he's of a similar age to where she was when you guys went to your first Rising Dragon Festival, Ecther is probably not quite on the same level as his sister in a few regards. Yeah, actually the way I've got it is that he is technically, he's ride 5, no special dice. Agave is, for the sake of argument, ride 4, but plus ED. You might think that he's maybe like a little more on the ball with the lance than you, like, so when we actually get to jousting, than you remember Agave's performance of, but pretty typical Inos stuff. But yeah, he clocks it in. Again, we don't need to go super mega ultra detail, but let's see. Yeah, Thorin would want to go at least and maybe like do the horsemanship. He does not have lance, so he's not going to do the joust. But honestly, Conrad may be able to get a couple of, because you mentioned doing some training with the Grand Melee team, may be able to get a couple of reps with Aurelia and Huron.
Mhm.
Maybe even double check, like, Miss Yerwin's level of skill.
What weapon does Yerwin favor?
She'd be rapier. Side
Okay.
sword. And you cannot, because they have to use their blunted weapons, you cannot give anybody orichalcum.
I was not going to plan on. No, I was going to see if I could help anyone spar, but I think the only other person that uses dagger is Aurelia, and I think she has more than me.
Yeah. Like right now, Aurelia is working on her skill with switching to short sword.
Yeah, so she wouldn't want my help even if. Yeah.
She has managed to pick up the buckler pretty good, though. But all right, I think that's everybody's afternoon block then.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, even though I know that he is quiet, I will double check. Logesh, what are you doing in the afternoon? You gonna go watch the horsies?
No, this time I think Logesh would go around and probably peruse and purchase some flowers, gifts, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's all easily manageable in your budget.
Yeah.
Any particular items you're picking up?
Roses.
Okay.
Roses. Yeah, for the moment, just roses. I can't think of anything else at the moment.
Pretty normal. Okay, all right. So you guys presumably return to Torchlight Hall to eat dinner. You guys can check in
Yes.
with what you got going on. If there is any,
Hearty
role-playing
dinner.
discussion you want to get.
Don't think so.
Don't believe so.
Sorry, you said that so softly. I'm just like I'm imagining Nicola sitting at the table, just like big dark circles under his eyes because he's been fucking cooking all day.
I never want to smell the smell of dirt again.
Leslok, we gotta cook.
All right.
Burning moss has a very particular smell.
Why are you burning moss?
It's part two of the recipe to make an earthen skin potion. And never mind.
Healy Bop juice. Good healing.
Fair enough.
Anyway, you can distribute these 7 however you think necessary. These are, I would say, average, and these are good. I'll put the with 2 in average and the with 3 in good. And then this one is for you, dear lordling. I will toss you the earthen skin potion.
Delicious stone skin.
I didn't think about this, but how much time do we have between matches in the Grand Melee?
You don't know the specifics, but it would be a several minutes. I did slightly play my hand when I mentioned it to other characters, but it will be taking up 2 time slots, so it'll either be all morning or all afternoon. So
Yeah.
it will be over the course of several hours.
Okay. Well, like in between matches, would Nicola be able to like look after us? Maybe like do some.
Yes,
like,
yes, there'll be
okay.
enough time.
Oh
for
yeah,
Nicola to
no,
make
I'm going to be at
healing
the
rolls
Grand
before
Melee
staying.
to be on medical watch, but
Oh yeah, no, I was
The-
just curious if it was like
Yeah.
it was like actual thing. Like we can like
Yes,
get
because like I said,
between
with,
matches.
yeah, no, that is intentional
Okay.
by me and also in universe because, like I said, the idea is nobody gets any permanent injuries, and the rules
Yeah.
for like having a person be medically incapacitated are not very clearly stated. So the
Honestly,
idea is having your own like doctors and
if
professionals on.
if
hand
anything,
to
I would probably
also-
volunteer my services to any team as long as, just so no one dies.
that still is a very low chance of happening mechanically.
Yeah, I know, but
I agree.
But yes, it can be good for you to. I wanted to say lurk, but that's not really the right verb for a doctor.
no.
Oversee?
Hover's the right word.
Hover is definitely more personality. Oversee, I
Helicopter.
think, is what people call it. No, that doesn't work.
Helicopter doctor.
You don't know what those are? We don't have upside down Leonardo da Vinci, who's invented the gyrocopter or the ornithopter.
Ornithopter.
That's the flappy wing one. Okay. But yes, so you've been given the potions to distribute at around dinner time. You guys eat dinner. And then portraiture will be happening at the Royal Gallery. It'll be overseen by the Lady Magister. Sorry, I'm having this problem where I'm once again genning stats in the background, and I like open my fucking document, look at it, I tab it down to go back to my notes and type shit, and I'm just like, Clark, I forgot already. No, this time I remember.
We know where Inos is going.
Yes, Inos is going as the model. Let me finish typing this section of stats in, and then.
Anyone I care about? Is Paz a painter?
I believe she is going. Let me
And I would
tab it up.
probably attend, just to provide
Animals,
moral support.
stuff, portrait stuff. Yes, Lady Magister. Be given an access to a wide variety of materials, paints and inks for canvas or wooden miniatures. We'll actually have charcoal sketch pads, opportunity for mosaics and the like, even some access to ceramics and stone for sculpture work. This is either a generic student art or an appropriate expert skill. So I presume none of the player characters took student art.
No.
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 That's fair. Well, then I guess I should ask if you guys are going to observe.
Definitely yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
That's fair.
For multiple reasons.
Fair enough. I mean, it's not gonna be.
I have to. I should be here because I'm the one that orchestrated half of this.
Though I'm not sure if Konrad actually knows that Inos is going to be the model. Well, I guess it was
Oh, Nicola
mentioned
definitely doesn't.
Or was it mentioned earlier? I can't remember.
I don't know.
I
This
think
was kind of
if it did come up, because I think there were opportunities for it to come up, it probably would have come up though in a moment when Leslok and Inos had a like an aside moment. I don't think like
I think
in
he was
character. No,
told.
I don't think we've explicitly said it, but I don't think it's the kind of thing that Leslok would be over breakfast. Oh yes, Inos. By the way, I volunteered you to be the model for the portraiture contest because I knew you'd like that shit. And Inos is just like, yeah, rad. I think it probably would have been just like a quiet aside of just like, hey, I volunteered you for portraiture. I thought it would be cool, and Inos would be like, you're right, it is cool.
I would be the best model they know for years.
So
Well,
you know,
Konrad is taking his time not being there to go to the club and get ready for his night on the town.
That's what we're calling it.
That sort of evening. Yes, okay. But yes, so you got a couple of stuff. There's a few artists who are gonna be good. Out of the younger generation, at basic painting talent, you've got Eglantine Ferretti, Egan's younger sister. Clevel Ghouls is actually here. Probably the strongest painters, though, and I guess she is technically of the younger, but you guys met her before. Your strongest painters are going to be Paz Oro and Estelle Hotroy. And yes, Princess Estelle is here. I didn't tell you that beforehand, but now you're double glad you're here.
I'm also kind of double embarrassed now.
I mean, like I said, it's not like a nude modeling. You can just sit on a cushion. What level of clothing though is Inos going for? Or what kind of style? Dashing, intimate, dressed down.
Definitely more of an intimate dress down kind of build.
Sure,
Like
please.
maybe not nude, but he's definitely going to be exposing a lot of skin.
I was definitely imagining. Do you know the pose where you technically are wearing your shirt, but it's like mostly off your body?
I mean, Inos would want to pick a more comfortable pose because it's only one sitting, so they're not expecting these to be like perfect portraits, but it's going to be a several hours sitting. So
Clearly, I'm just going to dump a bucket of water over me and just glisten.
Slowly dry.
Just slowly dry. Just have my clothes just pasted to my body. No, I will not do anything. I will ask the good Magister what kind of pose she thinks I should take.
Like this is what I was thinking of.
Oh yeah, no. But no,
So she would probably discourage the throw a bucket of water on you trick, but definitely I feel like she's gonna take her artist's eye, kind of tap her chin a few times with her prosthetic arm and just be like, "What pose do you think would be most comfortable, Master Inos?" She does kind of turn it into a lecture and be like, "Ideally, a pose for a portrait should be in a position to be well framed, flatter the subject."
Oh,
but
I
also
know.
should
Do
be
we have
comfortable for several hours?
Do we have a divan or something?
Yes.
Yeah. So Enos is going to do open shirt and just sprawl out on the divan.
Yes. No. Yeah.
I see.
Because that's what I was
the
gonna say.
paint-
I'm just she would go for she
French
would
girl
ask
special.
Enos, would you prefer a chair or perhaps a couch? And yeah, you get a divan and you just kind of lounge.
Mm-hmm.
Your other interesting contestants, which is also very funny that Leslok did decide to chaperone, I guess technically. Is Kevis Verity has showed up, and he is a sketch artist, good with the charcoal pencil, and from the smaller house, you've met her briefly before. Irene Roche is actually going to attempt hammer and chisel.
Oh shit!
She is a sculptor, and she's actually gonna try her best. But again, only got a few hours. But let me clock out some dice.
Oh,
Ooh,
sorry.
who's made that sound? Was that you, Love?
I was coughing.
Okay.
I
It
thought
sounded
you were
like
being
you were
attacked by birds. I'm gonna be real.
The part that came through sounded like you were surprised by like a small mouse or something, which in Australia would probably be some kind of like death mouse.
No.
Only if it has a health
the
bar.
mic caught the tailwind of me badly coughing. Okay.
No, it's an Australian possum. You know, the cute ones.
No,
Deadly
no,
Xanthan
don't worry.
Vampire.
Australia has plenty of normal animals. It just also has crazy animals.
All right. Yeah. Alphabetically, Estella's first in my list. She's going to roll knowledge plus student art. Only twos.
Three
okay.
twos.
But 3 2s. Definitely going for
So
more.
does that mean
of,
she was distracted?
I mean, maybe a little, but it also the greater width means more speed, so it definitely feels like she's going for more of a not a high definition lines, but definitely going for more of a broader strokes kind of a thing. At some point during the evening, she can probably be heard muttering to herself, "You know, this is why I prefer landscapes. Inos, do you think you could look more like a field of flowers?"
So respond. Sorry, I'm past my blooming season.
Sorry. I thought of a in-character joke that was very funny, but didn't want to say out loud. Actually, Inos and Leslok roll sense plus hearing.
Okay.
I'll see if you can hear under the breath.
Can I
checks from
also
the
roll?
characters. Yeah, you're observing. You can roll too.
Lucky, not
Look, you didn't get
the
to
way.
Shoes on the other foot now. Damn it!
Look, I'm sorry, but you have to get from the Yamcha pose right now.
Sorry, what was that, Axe?
I'm sorry, look, we just get off the floor from the Yamcha pose.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
fucking apparently
He makes the Yamcha pose.
I am magic healing man or hearing man apparently.
Okay, all right.
All right.
Yeah, no, I got blasted. Man, everyone's doing great. Fuck. I mean, I got a pair of
one.
twos.
You made it.
I made it, but I cried.
Sorry, Lucky, you didn't get a pair of twos. You got a pair of ones.
You are correct. I cannot read.
You got a pair.
I don't mean to be that guy.
Who else is listening in?
This was for Paz Oro, who also rolls 8 dice for knowledge plus student art. Once again, she does not roll the same combination of dice. Her numbers are different.
Mm-hmm.
Those of you who passed your hearing check, hear once again Paz Oro say under her breath as she is furiously painting. Not with the way Inos says, "Oh, I'm past my blooming season." She says under her breath, "Not with the way you're wearing that shirt, you're not."
I will say, Enos' Beauty 3 is on full power right now.
Yeah. You're not hiding it.
No.
And then I don't think they'll come just for the sake of it.
I think Paz might win though.
Oh, they did get 2 7s. So a couple of people are able to do some high quality portraits, but Paz Oro really showing her kind of like proto Renaissance man skills of like she is actually able to build a solid like portrait of paint and like do base coat rough lines and get the whole thing to actually like move it out there. Actually, this is very funny. I should also hey, guess what? I have another 8 die pool to roll.
For the statue.
No, Kevin's already doing a sketch. 2 5s and 2
I
4s.
think.
And 2 2s.
All I can picture is just Kefis going up to Leslok and just being, "Look what I drew!" And Leslok going, "Ah, my eyes!"
I mean, it wouldn't be his eyes, but no. Kefis is very fast with the sketch pool.
Maybe like 3 different sketches.
Listen, I'm pretty sure you guys have been in the sauna with Inos. You have seen what Inos is.
Yes.
Yeah, you see how it is.
I'm pretty sure at this point Nicola is not phased by Inos.
Yeah, Kefis manages to run through multiple phases of sketch. He kind of, adjusts his, when the session is called, he kind of adjusts his spectacles, looks at the couple of different charcoal pens pencils he's worked through the nubs and been like, no, very rough. No, I have to work on that. He kind of like shows a couple of comparisons of like, this one's got good depth, but that one doesn't have as much good a face. In this sketch, I focused too much on the face and lost the rest of the subject. Yes. But yeah, Paz with 3 6s, trip 6s takes the win. She has again, it's a little rough because it's done in like one sitting over like 3 hours, but it's a pretty good painting. I believe, let me double check my notes. But I believe, yes, the artists have the opportunity to take their portraits home, donate to them to the gallery, or offer them to Inos as a bit of patronage. I do think Paz will offer Inos the portrait. If he wants it.
I'll take it.
All right.
How did the sculpture come out?
I do not have hard and fast stats for Irene Roche, but I will. Let's see. Because I think that would be an expert skill. Sculpture. We'll call hammer and chisel coordinate.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right, so. Because it was very niche, I was gonna give her a master die in that. So 2 10s, yeah. Like
Okay.
she's probably still refining it technically by the time the session ends, but it's for probably like a well, let's be real, it's called a bust. But for a bust probably size, because full height statue would not be practical.
Pretty sure Horn's masterful.
Yeah,
Well-
no, like
well-
she's got the works there.
Well, no, I was just gonna say if if it was taking her too long, I was gonna volunteer to stay longer if anyone else wanted to finish up their works or continue to refine them. But if everyone's satisfied with what they got, nah, I get out of here.
Yeah. I kind of feel like she's not like sad about it or disappointed. Hey, as we like to say, spoilers. The reason why Estelle rolled 8 dice is because she has 5 in student art.
Jesus.
She's a princess. She's like 90% hobbies. Specifically, she's the 3rd princess.
Oh yeah, no.
But her knowledge is, more normal, only 3. So she's not really like disappointed. She's definitely like I said, she's much more practiced with landscapes. She's probably kind of talking to herself and being like, need some more practice with portraits. I feel like I'm just imagining Inos just kind of like smiling smugly from his divan position, and she just kind of like points a brush at him and says, "Don't you say anything."
Hold on, I need the GIF. I need the GIF.
It's just that meme about like no, not that at all. It's the meme of like pointing the knife at the cat who's just sitting with the plate, but instead of a knife, it's a paintbrush. It's like, don't you dare. I'll get my practice in anyway. I tried to go too fast is my problem. So yes, she'll keep her version to herself. And some of the rest of them get on. But at the end of the eventide, the whole thing is brought up. And indeed, day 3 is going to be Grand Melee Day. You will need to submit your team at high noon, and then report to the tourney at the afternoon, so after lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Your first phase event, though, will start off the morning with bright and early with swimming, the swim competition. Morning slot 2 will be taken up by the flower arranging section,
Oh.
which Lady Remedios had planned. Oof, excuse me. And then the evening, because yes, the Grand Melee is going to take up both afternoon slots. The evening after dinner will be the conundrums, the riddle games.
God dang it, Omega. I swear you build your schedules just to mess with me.
Absolutely not, honestly. I don't.
No,
do
I know
any
you don't.
We're thinking about
I
crew. It's just.
I know
yeah.
you don't, but I have to change what I was going to plan to do tomorrow.
Well, that's this is the benefit of me like announcing the schedules not all at once. Also, so you guys don't get to like cheat or pre-prep or anything. But that's the point is to be kind of spontaneous. But it does mean that you have to like when they come up, you got to think about what you want in your plans. But sorry, I almost said but first. No, that's another good one. Yes, the knife cat. Sorry, I don't know why my I feel so scatterbrained tonight. Like my neurons are just firing randomly. I saw this cat gif with the knife, and then I instantly thought of even though it doesn't involve a knife, it involves a gun. The Tumblr post about the mushroom.
Oh, yes. You cannot kill me in a way that matters.
Tell me the name
Oh
of the
fuck,
body,
that
piece of
was
shit. You cannot kill me in a way that matters. And I'm like, I don't know why my brain just decided to remember that. It's
The
fun,
Tumblr
but
post
even
is
think to hear it.
wild.
anyway, let me take a second and like go splash some cold water on my face. But are the rest of you doing any besides what Konrad has already pointed out? Are the rest of you planning anything in particular for the evening?
For this evening?
Yes, this evening. Evening 2.
Evening 2.
I
I would like
it's
to.
2 of 5, right?
What was that?
It's 2 of 5?
Yes.
No, I'm gonna get some good sleep because I'm gonna be busy tomorrow if I'm volunteering services.
Okay. Inos?
I'll pop into the Star Club and see if Stell and Palome are in. But if not, he will just return home.
No, I do think after the painting that Estelle would not have gone out again.
Okay. I do need to speak with Palome, but I feel like it'd be really odd to just send her a note.
Why?
Let me...
You're her friend's... Her lady-in-waiting's, not paramour's not the right word,
Parker.
Yeah, that.
Well, I think that's why Enos needs to have that conversation, because he doesn't know.
I am slightly offended that you call me a stalker.
I said it jokingly.
Jokingly. If you do
Unless-
pop into the club, though, Enos, I would say that actually I do think that, in a slight difference of mood, Paloma Espada is there alone.
Oh, geez, what?
Yes, I did just have it flip a coin. Yeah, because Paloma probably wasn't with Estelle at the painting, and so it seems like she's been killing time here.
Well, if that's the case, I would like to have a conversation with her.
Yes, that seems fair. Give me a sec. I am gonna pause it and step away, like I said, and when we get back, we'll do both of our little evening vignettes. All right, I paused my audio. I don't know how much evening activity Konrad has planned, but lucky found the thing.
Yes.
I will be right back.
I'm trying to find the one where someone actually narrates it really well.
I can try and look it up, I think. Here.
Oh, you did find it.
It was a lot of scrolling, but I remembered it being in general. It was about 12 days ago.
Who posted it?
You.
I thought I did. Thank you.
I just remember it being a thing. There was like, this is posted a thing you did, so.
Yes. Thank you.
I think this is my favorite Tumblr post of all time. Have you seen the one about making tea?
No, I haven't.
Oh, of course, it's fucking
I
tiny.
gotta
shit.
open it in browser.
Yeah, I'll open in browser.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've seen this one.
It's so fucking... It just keeps getting weirder.
Hang on.
Definitely think I saw a video of where that was acted out. So
It's like you put your fucking mug on the stove. And just the ending is just chef's kiss. Just does no one own a fucking kettle?
With a fucking kettle.
Okay, I'm back. I refilled my water. I'm good.
All right.
Okay.
None of
we
you
will
own a fucking kettle.
Because of the power of Dramatique, we will do Inos conversing with Paloma Espada first. So yes, Paloma Espada is at the club. Probably not really dining, but is definitely sitting in one of the like reading rooms, probably like sipping some tea or something. Perhaps reading a book about swords.
Swords and stuff. So, Enos will saunter over, maybe lightly rap on a wall to get her attention.
I'm just imagining it's like, just perks her like eyes up over the book she's reading. Master Inos?
Yeah,
Did you have fun?
It's like, well, being stared out at. Like, how many people there? Like a dozen?
Probably about a dozen, yeah.
About a dozen news, all trying to capture every contour line of my body, is thrilling, to say the least. I don't know if I call it fun. I did get some lovely pieces, though. I'm not quite sure what I should do with them. I think it'd probably be particularly gauche if I just hung them up around the place and looked at them. People have a saying for that. That's, egotistical?
That's not the first word that came to mind, but you are correct.
Vocabulary has never been my strong suit. But I see you're here. I was actually kind of half expecting to see you there with the princess.
Her Highness does not need my assistance to paint, as I'm sure you know. And I must admit, she kind of, closes her book and does kind of make a decent, I guess, a humble gesture is the probably, kind of to herself. My skill has never been good with the brush.
Oh. Do I want to make a joke about, like, cutting a sculpture from stone with a sword? No. But Enos is thinking about it.
He could probably empathy you out of it, but I'm not sure if he has empathy.
No, it's just one of those things of, I don't know if like if that requires empathy though, but Enos was definitely thinking something maybe a little rude. But
Nah, nothing.
whew. But Inos kind of sobers up a little and looks a bit uneasy. You know, kind of let his eyes wander, and with a big sigh, it's like, Lady Paloma, can I have a serious word with you?
I feel like she kind of like sits up a little straighter and be like, no, she'll be a little petty back in her own way. She kind of like sits up a little straighter and kind of like adjusts her collar slightly and be like, no, I've been waiting for years for you to have a serious conversation.
Enos kind of gives a small smile, and it's all like, well, you've gotten it. Enos will. It's a reading room. There's like, what's the seating arrangements kind of like? Is there multiple chairs, one chair?
Yeah. There's probably like small but well appointed tables with a couple of chairs. It is still a social club, so it's meant for you to sit around and with your friends and like read newspapers and things.
So before he sits around, Enos will, kind of look around, see if anyone is close, maybe trying to listen in or anything else. He's not trying to be like super secretive about this, but he doesn't want people like actively eavesdropping.
No, I don't think any. No, I have no particular major NPCs in mind who would be hanging too close.
Okay. So he'll take a
You have
seat
plans
beside.
to roll some bones about Konrad later, but like I said, we'll leave that till after because it'll be funnier that way.
Mm-hmm. So he will take a seat beside Paloma, and he'll kind of just get right into it. Enos is very hesitant with his words and sometimes takes a few pauses to find what he says. He is clearly uncomfortable with this topic and not his usual theatric self. I just say, so I do hope that sets the mood for how he's kind of acting. It's like, so, Lady Paloma, we've known each other for several years. And me mostly coming to visit the princess and engage in tomfoolery and shenaniganery, always skirting that line between... Oh... What's the word I want to use here? I can't think of the word.
Being amusing and being being impolite.
Yes, very much so. I actually am quite surprised I have not been stabbed more by you. Not that I wish you to.
She does, yeah. I think she does kind of like angle an eyebrow, like just in case,
No, that's full up,
She-
both
like-
hands
like-
up.
You could tell that she was probably seconds away from like shrugging, going for a rapier, just like, well, if you insist.
I wonder if you to make a P on your chest cut.
But,
You have to be a very angular one, but
Gonna do it on Tuesday.
Wait,
so far away.
I don't even know what he said there.
still pretty though. Anyway, yes, continuing this.
And so you've seen us together, and you are close to the princess. And so I wish to ask of you, in all honesty, yes, this is going to sound very dumb, and I believe you will hold this over my head for years to come. But what do you and the princess think of me?
I feel like Paloma Espada kind of pauses. She was mid head tilt, mid eyebrow curl. I think she kind of like just takes a second, looks at her cup of tea as just like, oh, I'm going to need more of this. Signals for a waiter, and then turns back and says, I am not opposed to answering this question, but I feel compelled to ask, what has brought this particular mood on? I am not an expert in the hearts of men, and if you find that rude of men-like beings, but I, am trained as a knight, as a bodyguard. I will say that your body language is not yourself.
Inos kind of, leans back in the chair, casts his eyes downward. And it's like, well, simply speaking, I blame my cousin. The Marquess, specifically.
I love how we're all blaming Leslok for all of these things.
Well,
he did decide he was going to do some big showy stuff.
Yeah. It's like, partly it's my fault. I'm the one who made the damn thing, and I'm the one who made sure that it was super public. But my cousin's getting married with someone he loves very much. And, well, I haven't been exactly secretive about it, but I have quite a few loves in my life, and I would like to know where they stand with me. Like, if they'd maybe want a future with me? Ugh. Point being...
Go ahead and roll empathy for me.
Mm-hmm.
Just because we've already discussed that Paloma is not great at that.
Yeah.
Because throughout this conversation, I feel like Paloma Espada's expressions have gone through several different variations. I want to see how many Inos picks up on. Okay, 4s and 5s. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like, she's definitely cycling through like definitely at the start it was probably like, oh, I gotta hear this, and now like towards the end we're leaning towards more like, oh, I don't want to hear this, but like there's a lot of spectrum in between of just like her realizing what's going on, and like she starts at the amused spectrum and is rapidly moving towards the bemused spectrum,
Mm-hmm.
And again, a new pot of tea comes. She pours. She also pitch perfect pours for Inos. Takes a sip, sets her cup down, and says, "Okay, all right. As Her Highness's bodyguard, close personal friend." And also, her mother is my aunt. We're family, I have to say to you, first of all, this is probably a thing you should be speaking with her about. As far as I know, the only way to know what is in another person's mind is to speak to them. At least in my understanding. I do not know what foul magics you Northerners have access to. Actually, no, I should not say that. If I was going to be very espadily of myself, I should say that if you wish to know a woman's heart, you should challenge her to do a duel.
Flashbacks to Rodrigo.
It's like, Enos, takes a sip of tea and is like, yes, I know. And I do plan on speaking to her about it.
Okay, good, because I do not... You're sharper than you look, Master Inos, but you should be careful about challenging anyone to a duel.
No. But the reason I ask is because I want to know if... Well, I'm probably going to make a fool of myself regardless, but...
No, that's a given. Sorry, we're being serious. I feel... Actually, I just did the, pass hand over my face to switch to neutral gesture, and I realized to myself, actually, Paloma probably does do that. Like, she takes a deep breath and, does a hand gesture to go with, readjusting her face back to neutrality.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, we're being serious right now.
It's like, but if I was to bring this up, no matter what, things will change, and change is a scary thing. And so I wanted to, well, test the waters, as it were. It's like, her highness's, not her highness, no, yes, highness.
Yeah, Highness.
You know her highness's mind, and, well, I'm not expecting you to divulge all her secrets and thoughts. It's more of a matter of,
Good.
Enos kind of shrugs at that. And also, if I was to pursue such a thing in earnest, you'd be, well, not far off.
Your
I'd say.
first obstacle? Perhaps your last?
Oh, clearly that means I have to challenge you to a duel as well, don't I?
That is traditional for the Cavaliers of beautiful and dashing princes and princesses, yes.
And so, I didn't want to discount your thoughts and feelings on the matter.
I feel like she now takes a chance to actually get kind of a sober expression on her face and kind of says softly, "Well, that is more respectful than most."
And it's like, I know it's kind of a foolish thing for me, but I want the happiness of all who's involved with me. And if that means that I'm not necessarily needed in the picture, then so be it. But I won't have it said that I didn't try. And I didn't try
you
to
meant
understand.
that equation that way around. Okay. When you said happiness for all, I was picturing something else. My older brother has some very interesting novels. If you were thinking of that, I was going to say, though, that there's going to be a slight problem. Her name is Reschools. Anyway. I'm not fighting her for you, by the way. That's your own problem.
Inos, kind of, makes a dismissive gesture. As fun as I have with much fun as I have with Reschools, I do not believe that we will be settling down anytime soon. Or anytime later, after all. Our relationship will probably be like a firework, hot and passionate, and then it'll just fizzle out to nothing as she finds something better.
Are you also picturing the soot stains at the end? Fire Sand goes places. Just saying. Anyway, sorry, you're distracting me. Okay, deep breath. Keeping in mind, again, we don't bring it up much, but Paloma Espada is only 17.
Mm-hmm.
But, she takes a deep breath. You are correct. I cannot divulge to you all of Her Highness's secrets, as I just said. I am her knight, and also her lady-in-waiting, and also her cousin. I would like to think we are friends. If we are not friends, she does a very good job of lying about it. But first, I would like to say to you that you may not understand this coming from where you come from, where your people live under big rocks.
The biggest rock.
And, with all your snow and sheep and stuff. But in Espada, in the summertime, it storms. It rages. Wind, thunder, rain, all that kind of thing. There is a reason why our founder was called Espati Stormborn. But change is one of those things that is like water, like weather, like rain, like thunder. You cannot fight it. You cannot grasp it. But that means there's no reason to be afraid of it. It happens or it doesn't. What you can do is be prepared for change. And if you're very lucky, and also you have a lot of manpower and money, you can shape where change goes. I specify manpower and money because I've tried to tell people the analogy of the storm before, and storm walls, they take work. That said, I believe that the princess thinks of you fondly, I would say. I must admit that despite what some may think, I do not sit up at night with Her Highness and we write in our journals and we gossip about who we think is pretty. Most of my attendance to her is, hanging around, making sure she doesn't need anything, making sure nobody's bothering her. Very rarely I get to stab people who are bothering her. It doesn't happen often enough. For me, not for her. It's better this way. That's what all of my teachers in the Blood Shield say. It's much better to be bored than to be active. Anyway. I feel like I'm divesting because we do not speak a lot. Mostly I stand there and look intimidating. But the princess has not expressed a particular desire, drive, one way or another, when it comes to marriage or romantical prospects. Obviously, you understand, she is very important. And she raises the finger at you. Don't you do the thing where you say, oh, she's important to me. I will hit you with my teacup. I know you want to. I'm talking about to the realm. And more so than you or I. Though I would wager that some people would forget that you or I are technically important to this realm. You give me some respect, I give you some respect. But, so, obviously, myself, the other people who attend her own family even, we'd want to avoid the appearance of anything untoward, shame, despair, dishonor, that kind of thing. It makes great stories, but it's very ugly in real life. But, well, you've met my older siblings. What people can get away with is a function of how important they are. I feel like out of character, I have her linger on that thought for a second. How important they are. But obviously, if you wish to, gods, you're killing me with this. Listen, if you want to send letters and make moon eyes at the princess, whatever, that's your own problem, man. Unless she tells you to stop, then it's my problem. Cracks knucks. That's okay. I think you're
Cracks
smarter than that.
neck.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what Omega said there.
Yeah, sorry. I said, she says, luckily I think you're smarter than that. If it came to a matter of a permanent match, as I said, Princess still has not really discussed that with me, but I can tell you that means she has not really discussed that with anyone else. As I am technically present for most of her private meetings. I suppose she could be having a private meeting about it right now, but I suspect she's gone back to her chambers. How did her portrait turn out?
She wished I was a field of flowers instead.
Well, she paints too many fields of flowers. I do not understand it. You paint a field of flower one time, you've painted a field of flowers. I don't get it. Maybe that's why I'm bad at painting. But no, that probably means that she's gone back to her room to study her previous pictures of landscapes of flower fields, and probably is going to attempt to adjust the portrait of you so that it's more like what she wants it to look like. I am not in the least bit embarrassed to say that if it had been a good portrait, she probably would have come here to hang it up somewhere. if only because you would go up the stairs and see it, then you would either go, "Oh, look, it's me! How fabulous I am!" or you would, fall down the stairs or something. Both would be equally amusing.
Inos kind of lets out a chuckle at that.
Yes. So yes. Gods, now you've got me thinking about these sorts of things. I'm not supposed to be focused on that. It's keeping her alive, whole, safe, sane, that sort of thing.
Inos kind of cracked a smile. Happy?
I mean, the happiness is ideal, but I'm going to be honest with you. Again, my teachers of the Blood Shields have said that is, lower down on the level than making sure that all of their blood is still inside their body.
Inos, kind of just nods his head in acknowledgement.
No, it is for the subject to make themselves happy, and then we just have to deal with that. I'm sure you understand this very well with your cuz, as you put it, the Marquess, You're not in charge of him. You can't tell him what to do, but your fortune is kind of involved with his. So if he does something dumb, like fall off a cliff, well, that's going to look bad for you. Well, it would look much worse for me if my charge fell off a cliff. This is fine. I would simply fight the cliff. No.
Just like about Woody.
Note to self: keep the Marquess away from cliffs.
You don't do that already?
Inos kind of gives another little shrug.
Slight offense, but the Marquess seems like the type who would be busy reading a book, or perhaps making moon eyes at his fiancée, and he would simply just not see the cliff.
Oh no, actually, he'd be actually standing on the edge of it trying to make a cool pose that he read out of a book.
There are cool poses in... never mind. It's not...
I'm going to scratch it off the list.
Never mind. I'm not...
No cliffs.
I'm not here to discuss literature with you. Despite the fact that I would find that a much more sane and grounded conversation.
Honestly, I'd more find it interesting to see Konrad throw someone off a cliff, but that's me.
Inos kind of, throws his hands up in the air. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. I don't... Listen, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, I'm actually... well, not that great with feelings, as it were. I know my feelings, I know what I want, and I kind of just throw them around, and go upon my merry way. It's like, it's been working out fine for several years.
I am astonished at this. How has someone not run you through with a pointy object?
Because I'm so
Konrad.
damn pretty. And I generally, while I act the fop and the fool, I am generally nice to be around. It's like, I'm very good at not getting stabbed.
This is the fundamental skill.
But the whole bearing my heart to another, it's not me. Us Iron Demons, we love having our little secrets and mysteries and stuff like that. So,
He's fast. He's so fast.
Born to meme.
Cliffs.
So, I don't even know where I'm going with this anymore.
Sorry.
Lady Paloma, I think you have made your point. I understand.
I didn't draw my rape. Oh, that kind of point.
Oh, sometimes you don't need a sword to inflict a wound upon somebody. But I digress.
Listen, if you want to know which the poets the princess prefers, you should start with that shelf over there. Just singles out a shelf in the reading room. But yes, no, you should speak to her about things. And I believe some of this level of seriousness is refreshing, but too much seriousness from you is quite frankly concerning. Distressing even. You should lighten it up just a little bit. Just a little bit. Paloma Espada is very interesting to roleplay because I feel instinctively to do like the like high energy, the passion stuff from the other Espadas, but also she is kind of like very serious compared to her elder siblings.
It's more tempered, as I would put it, honestly.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. But in my mind, I'm imagining her doing the fucking like, okay, normally you're up here. Right now you're down here. I need you to be here, and like hand in the middle gesture, like, because that's genuinely what she thinks right now. She's like, okay, normally Inos, you're up here. Right now you're down here. I need you to be like right about here for this conversation in future. And you'll just have to see how it goes. Like I said, it's my cousin and I have quite a few things in common. We have things that are not in common, but we are both, third in line. Admittedly, the parts of the number 1 and the number 2 are a lot less complicated for her. Though admittedly, my brother and sister have been getting on better in the past years. I still think they are too similar for either of their own liking. They would much rather be different. It would be way easier. But, well, I can't say I disagree, but that's a different conversation. We both understand what it is like to be third in line, and as you may have noticed, no, I will not say that her Highness the High Queen has been putting in her best efforts. She has made overtures, and they have not really gone anywhere, so a long-term match for the princess does not appear to be a priority for the realm, but it is also not necessarily a priority for the princess. We've already got one very fanciful royal wedding that'll have to be lined up sometime. Do you think that the Marquess and the 5th princess will get married this year? This calendar year? Or...
Enos, thinks about that for a second. Honestly, I don't rightly know.
Well, that's going to give the busybodies and the gossips and the planners of the capital plenty of food for thought. My personal opinion, keep them thinking. If they're busy with that, they're going to be less concerned about with whatever the hell you're doing.
Well, it seems I have a lot of doing to be doing, so I better go out and do it. Enos will...
Is that some sort of code for something?
Yes, it's code for I have no idea what the hell I'm doing, so I'm just gonna go out and do it anyway and hope for the best.
Oh. Well, you have a phrase for that. In Torrent, we just call that living.
Then, Paloma Espada, I need to get out there and live.
I could have told you that. You should try living it up in Torrent sometime.
I consider myself invited.
She does kind of like, pause, bites her lip. We're going to have to make sure you're really good at not getting hit with something, though. I do not wish to speak ill of my countrymen, but there are definitely some places in Torrent where you're going to run into some people who have had too much wine and too much sword, and they are going to want to hit you.
Just keep an eye on me on the Grand Melee tomorrow. Or in the Grand Melee, I should say. No. Wait, do we know? Yeah, we know the Grand Melee, right?
Yeah, you know about it.
Oh, yeah.
It was rumored before.
Yeah. It's like, if...
I just imagine when you say that, she just, for the first time, like, she's been pretty, like, neutral or even a little plussed. But when you say that, she gets a sharp smile on her face, very similar to her older sister, and just be like, I will. I don't think that means what you think it means, though.
Uh-oh.
Inos Inos just kind of gives a smile and is like, well, thank you for your time, Lady Paloma. You've given me much to think about and even more to do. I shall see you anon then.
Of course. Inos, I would like you to roll Sense plus Sight. I'm also going to roll Sense plus Sight for Paloma. And our Espada is 20.
Okay, so okay, got it. So she isn't legal to participate.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Inos, once again, doesn't see shit.
Mm-hmm.
How much does Paloma got for this? Okay, Sense 3, Sight 2. Sight 2. 5d10s.
Paloma
Okay,
also
no
does
matches.
not see anything.
She got some better dice in there, but also doesn't notice it. She's too busy thinking about her. Too busy thinking about that conversation with Inos.
Mm-hmm.
Does not spot. Konrad. Don't know why I forgot for a second. Yeah, so Konrad, you do your subtle switch and stuff, and neither Paloma nor Inos seems to notice when they are busy having their in-depth conversation and then leave.
Yes.
So Konrad, you are free and clear.
All right. My goal for tonight would mostly just be kind of case the city and kind of find out where the sort of people I'd want to ask questions would be lurking.
Okay. So casing the city, are you thinking more observational, or are you gonna ask questions? You gonna ask people?
Probably more observational.
Okay. Sense plus scrutinize, please. See if you get a clue or a lead.
Okay.
Perhaps you will find a foot for the game.
I'd probably not roll.
We're all super self-conscious about it now.
Yeah.
Ones, fives, threes.
1 3s
shit,
and
everything.
5s.
Okay, all right. You're cooking. You are Wargman.
Wargman.
You are Vengeance. You are the Knight.
Mark. Good job, Loth.
Yeah. So you utilize all your senses. You're looking and listening, hearing, feeling, and thinking. And paying close attention. You already talked about your dress down and your subtlety, and so you're trying to keep an ear out for areas, people, places where you're gonna find the kind of guys you're looking for, because as a kind of reminder and clarification,
Yeah.
you're trying to find out more about this smuggling fencing type group,
Yeah.
because they appeared to have business with the former Lord Marshal, Leofric, and also are still operating to this day. And so you're trying to find out where they might be kind of based, because work frame. But
And I was definitely kind of trying to start at the bottom and work my way up, because
Yes.
there were hints that that certain nobility might be involved in stuff. So
that's what I was gonna say before I got distracted to chuckle at Warg frame. It was you kind of were at the fort given the choice to go from top down or bottom down, so you're starting bottom down. And with that exemplary roll, word on the street is that one of the gangs that is most prominent with this are known as the New Street Boys. The Boys of New Street. This is very obviously a joke. There isn't a New Street in Lampclair, and in fact, the gang, as they are named, are based in Old Street with an E. So this is down in the Salt District, which is by the port, the Crown's port. So dockside. You're only listening, so it's hard to get like hard and fast information without asking people to clarify. But when people talk about this gang, or when you maybe even see handfuls of guys who might be new street boys bouncing around, you think that they maybe have like 2 or 3 dozen permanent members. So not quite large enough to be a company, but large enough to be a decent number of men in a fight. But you are able to catch, I think, 2 good actionable pieces of intel, which is the leader of the New Street Boys is known as Carver. The same name that you guys remember from long, long ago. And they operate out of a dive of a tavern in the Salt District on Old Street, known as the Gilly Green. There's probably a very peely, very shitty picture of like a green woman with seaweed hair for the tavern sign. At least you think it's a woman. It could just be a mountain made of seaweed. A pile of snakes. It's dark and they really need to repaint that sign.
Something.
The mermaid / manatee,
A mermatee. Yeah, so this seems to be the place they hang out, work out of, etc.
Okay.
Yeah, you rolled multiple sets. I'll say this. Without needing any additional rolls, you probably hear a few rumors on the street about the Gilly Green. If you want to walk an eye shut of it, like I said, it's a fucking dive. The windows are small and, they're not fogged with like fog. They're like grimy.
Yeah, great.
The sign is peeling. It does look like it's got like a couple of floors and maybe got like a side hatch or a servant's entrance for like a basement. Rumor on the street is they water down their drinks and they distill their own rum without permission, but the food and drink there is cheap. So usually, even though it is kind of a street gang hideout, it looks like they do a decent amount of business every night because if you don't care about what crowd you're with, you can go there to get cheap food and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, just because I can, where is my Dramatis Personae? Let's crackerjack an extra name. The name of the proprietor is actually, yeah, let's go there. Steve Schumann, barman of the Gilly Green. Or possibly Schumann? Schumann?
Something.
It's got a J in it.
Yeah.
And did I actually? Yeah, I do have some of my funny formatting. Don't need sorcery open, but just for the sake of it, because we've mentioned him again. Under criminals, ne'er-do-wells, and pirates, well, let's put Carver, leader of the New Street Boys.
He just made it on the list.
But yes, that's what you find after probably a couple hours of decent pavement pounding.
Okay, let's see. Let's see. I think I'm probably not going to be completely subtle of that someone's asking about them. Because if they don't think anything's going on, they're just going to all sit there in that club and stuff. I want them kind of stirred up, like maybe looking around for whoever's it, so I can pick them off later on. So I'm not being completely subtle. Like I'm not like going out of my way to make sure that the people I've not seen and people notice that someone's lurking around the Gilly Green.
Okay. There's a couple ways we could do this. Make for me either a. I mean, it can be either command or it'll be command and either inspire or intimidate, or you could make a knowledge tactics, whatever is better for you.
Okay, probably command.
Because intimidate could be you could just stand there menacingly, kind of thing. Inspire is actually used to provoke different emotional responses too. But also, I think you could just brain it out as well.
You use inspire.
Right.
Well, pair of ones at least.
Okay, that's all you needed. No difficulty. You've managed to kind of set the terms.
Trying to stir them up on my terms.
I got distracted by actually running the game. I didn't finish stat block for Irwin. That's okay. We're getting a little on. We're getting a little late. Okay. And is that all of your activities for the evening?
Yeah, I think that's good enough for one even.
All right. That's good. You've got some stuff. Made your presence known. Might be some guys wandering around. Yeah, just general vibes about like the New Street Boys is they're a gang that's known, to hang around, and they get into fights, scuttles as they are called, either in the Gilly Green or they go to other taverns to get fights. They'll pick fights in the street. But they are known, and the reason why they come up when you're looking for smugglers is they're known to engage in petty robbery or theft, either like mugging or actually like they'll steal shit off carts and street stalls and wagons, and then they fence their stolen goods and work with other fences. So
yeah,
they are thugs and pickpockets and thieves.
And there's an old friend that leads them.
Yeah.
Need to talk to him. Right. That's
In
good.
real life, you'd say this is a coincidence, but in this case, we call this dramatic convenience.
Yeah. It's always good.
All right.
Sorry, which one was Carver? Is that the...
He was the man who tried to start a fight in the Skinny Goat the first
Right.
day. The first day. Old Carver, he talks like this. Cut his nose off, lads. By the way, it's been like weeks or months now since I did some of the research to write for some of this stuff, but like there's no accounts that it actually happened, but this is what like pearl clutching, journalist rags back in like, the Regency or other pre-Victorian England would write about street gangs, is that they would like go out at night and like cut your nose off your face, or like there's a famous story of some guys who may not have been real, allegedly stuck a granny in a barrel and rolled her down a hill. Like real cartoon shit. It's very
I think
funny.
there are some fuckers that would do that for a laugh.
I mean, I know, but it's just one of those things of like it's so funny to me how they kind of run that out. Anyway, yeah, let's do day 3. Let's at least get to the
Yeah.
to the start of the melee. Like I said, I have not actually finished Irwin's stat block because I got distracted, and we are getting later. So I don't know if we'll be feeling to run up combat after we do some preamble. But new dawn, new day.
New dawn, new day.
Swamming.
New dawn, who this?
Mm-hmm.
This is technically new. Do any of you who qualify wish to swam?
Nay.
That would be body plus athletic. Blah. Really fat tongued that one. Body plus athletics.
Good.
Konrad would definitely participate.
Still too old.
I'm doing the normal thing. I'm gonna be there. I'm not doing it.
Okay. I mean, it should surprise nobody that the House Marin in general is pretty well favored for this because they all know how to swim. But you'd probably maybe lean a little more on Aquila Marin as the better in the water. But it's really anybody's game. So go ahead and roll me your body plus athletics score. Inos, I assume you are not swimming.
I am not swimming.
He's not aqua.
Two
He's not
tens.
Aquaman. Ooh, 2 10s. Probably gonna be pretty good then. No, that's the wrong house. Let's click on the spot a text box, me. That's not gonna help you. It's very funny how I keep doing this. Once again, all 3 of the Marin siblings have 5 total dice in body plus athletics, but all for like different reasons.
That's just hilarious.
3 3s. I did not specify ahead of time it would be a race, so we'll just go with the usual rules that the best set wins. The Marins are pretty fast, but like I said, I failed to specify the exact rules of the competition, so I think Comrade's 2 10s are the better set. Okay.
Win.
Do I want to roll for anybody else? Just for the sake of it. Nope. Don't you do it. No, shit. 7s. Okay, yeah, so I think Conrad comes away with the win, but shocking, I know. The people who actually know how to swim and show up to a competition to show how good they swim, they can swim, guys. They can actually do it. I know. Why?
Nice one, Conrad.
It's amazing.
Unheard of.
But yeah. Conrad looks great. He gets some swims in. You know, you get some congratulatory, clasps on the shoulder. We'll say that Rena Martlet probably came out to see the event. Normally she'd go for a hug, but you're fucking covered in seawater. So she will just probably, clasp your hand and do a couple jumps for joy. Good for you.
Yeah. I can swim.
I did.
It's good. It's an important skill.
Almost drowning that one time helped.
Yeah. It's good. It's good. You've got it locked in case it came up again.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Event the second. Flowers. So, this one will be popping by. It's going to be organized by Lady Remedios. Let's see. Would you use her kind of? No, you probably use one of the flower gardens. So the flowers are actually there. But who would like to be assembled to learn about the language of flowers and probably come up with some cool flower arrangements?
Inos would go. He's been skipping out a lot of things.
Fair enough. Skill-wise, this is charm plus graces. Sorry, I heard somebody thump there. Was somebody surprised by that one?
I wasn't surprised by that, but I don't have graces because I use theater for that.
You can still, because of the wording of your discipline.
So I will make something weird.
I kind of want.
Even if I succeed, this is going to be whatever it is going to be weird.
When was the last time this happened? Like this competition was a thing.
I don't know.
All right.
You haven't participated in it. This was one of the I think I mentioned this before, but it's been a couple weeks, if more, since it got planned out.
It was.
Lady Remedios was like, this was decided late in the meeting when like.
Oh wait,
we were like
this
spitballing
is
ideas.
flower arranging, right?
Yes. Yeah. When
I
when
would
more
go to
spitballing
this
ideas
event because I need to talk to Lady Remedios. So.
Yes, you finally remembered.
Well, no, not just that. I was gonna have a meeting with her today, but someone literally. That's why I was bringing up the you always screw me over with your scheduling, because I was literally gonna go. I think I'll have that meeting with her today, but I need to ask her about helping out with the.
That's fair.
The stuff.
I want to say that.
And also ask her if she's free tomorrow.
I wanted Leslok to participate because I think it's mostly just to support the other things we did during the meeting.
Go for it then. Roll your graces. Yeah, I could roll for specific NPCs, but I don't know how I don't think they'll be very keen. I do actually have a couple of blurbs about the concept though of flowery stuff. Language of flowers, it is graces normally because it's all about hidden messaging, polite action, and respectful. Botany and floriography have been popular like on and off for centuries. Over the past few seasons, like half a dozen to dozen years, the concept of talking bouquets have become more popular. It's relatively new, a way to do like coded messages. Lady Remedios explains that while it is possible to have a codified meaning of flowers and how people take them, and they do sell many little guidebooks you can look at, it's more about what the language means between the gift giver and recipient. She does talk through a couple of obvious social cues about if the person you're giving the bouquet to accepts it with say their left hand versus their right hand, that sort of thing. If they take it and hold it up or down, kind of a thing. Because there's a lot of that stuff going on. What is that? 3/8? Sorry, that was 2 Leslok.
It is 3/8.
Okay, that's your best one. Yes, 3/8. Inos got 6s. 2 times 6, I should say. I will roll a low ball 4d10, even though I think most NPCs actually have. Actually, no. I will be true to form. A shitload of NPCs have 5D in this because of the way stat blocks work. Okay, 5s. So definitely Leslok, I think, has the most interesting arrangements. But, there are many ways to interpret flowers. She does talk through a lot of obvious motifs. Generally, red flowers symbolize love, passion. The thorned rose is a very obvious metaphor. White flowers tend to represent, purity, innocence, or truth. Though sometimes violets are used as a metaphor for innocence. Orchids, are an exotic flower which show admiration and respect, but also display wealth. Sunflowers and other bright yellow flowers may symbolize joy and happiness. But a more pale color of yellow could indicate, jealousy, longing, or other messages. Bouquets can be arranged a number of ways. You can put flowers in vases or worn on your person. Actually, again, doing some historical research for this, the actual style of flower arranging, in history, you could send coded messages to your neighbor by putting a yellow flower in a vase and putting it in your window, that kind of stuff. I will say, actually, though, because I will roll one real check for this, you're favored for this to be super excelling. Is once again Princess Estelle is going to attend. And spoilers, because I'll have to announce it when I finalize the set, but she has a master die in.
I am not that surprised.
So it's 7 base, but she's got an MD. So, she's also going to be 3/8. I think that's her best set, because she could do 2x9 or 3x8. Yeah, the 8s would at least tie, so I think, matching Leslok completely would be better.
Means that what we do are entirely very different concepts, but are both impressive.
Yes. I've described some of the theming, so because you made successful matches, Leslok, feel free to describe what sort of arrangements or bouquets you might try and concoct. Inos, you can make up some dramatic bullshit too if you want. You roll the batch.
Oh, dramatic bullshit.
As we've discussed, your function of this is going to be different because it's a lot about you put on your theatrical presentation.
Yeah, cheers.
Some sort of bouquet about desire and longing.
So probably a lot of reds, a lot of pinks,
Yeah,
maybe a little bit of yellow.
a little bit of yellow. A lot of desire and longing. So I'm gonna use a fuck ton of flowers.
Sure, they've got lots.
Yes. And but then underneath it, uncertainty, concern, fear. Yes. So
Definitely some yellow.
Emotions.
yeah, so using a lot of flowers, putting like a lot of red flowers on top, but then he'll trim some stems and like under all the red, yellow.
Yes. Very meaningful, even if it is more like probably the reason why you do not score like a higher set with this is it's very complex.
Yes. Inos doesn't actually fully understand flower arranging, so he kind of just winged it. So he put his own spin on it. Perfect. Yes.
Theatrically designed, it makes you think about a proverb of sorts.
Once again, God, I'm so all over the place. Like, Axe paused for just a half second on makes you think about, and then I'm like, what's the thing they say in Scott Pilgrim? We are sex bomb. We're here to make you think about
I don't.
death and be sad and stuff.
Yeah.
That's not Axe's fault. That's just me. I'm goofy today.
It's fine. My eyes have been hurting for like hours.
That's okay. Like, Loth has a cough that he's masking very well, and he's gonna pop out to the shops that I think stay on mobile for the last bit of the session. It's after midnight for me. I don't think we're actually gonna get into the fight of the Grand Melee.
Well, so
We'll get to the setup.
we'll suit up.
Yeah,
in my
but-
mind, mine might be kind of complicated, but I probably simplify it. It's all fire colors.
Ooh,
So whites, oranges,
yeah.
reds, yellows, and blues. And it's layered to be, I guess, if you look at it straight on, it looks like wings of fire.
Oh yes, very artsy, but very high quality, and I think a lot of people can probably pick up on your meaning, especially because, like you said, you're probably aiming for a more straightforward interpretation than a really fancy one, but it looks good.
There's a personal meaning to all the different temperature colors, but that's personal. That's not. He doesn't expect anyone to get that.
I mean, some people may pick up on it. They've got decent graces. The princess probably goes for like a. I mean, she's got a master die. She could do some deep cuts. Honestly, probably does a thing with a lot of white, but does include like a couple of like very pale pinks at the center. Again, kind of like subtly touching on the message of like, friendship, trust, but kind of like togetherness, like just a little bit kind of neutral, but just a little bit of affection. But probably does some like for her like very fancy subtle meanings. Like probably manages to do this with like exactly as many blossoms as there are members of the Atoll Club, kind of a thing. Like the kind of stuff that's like, oh, that's a very 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 lovely very quality, and then it's got kind of a like if people are paying attention, they're kind of like, oh man, deep cut. Things you can do with flower arranging. Feel free to invent your own flower codes. Use them in the future, or don't. This is the thing though that I kind of liked about reading about this is like, oh yeah, they make a shitload of different manuals for like flower arranging and stuff. They don't all agree. Like there was no like cultural universal of the language of flowers. Anyway, before we move on to blocking out a couple more things before melee time, Nicola, that's your name. You're gonna speak to Lady
Yes.
Remedios. She's,
Lady
observing
Remedios.
flower arrangements, offering advice, that kind of thing.
Ah, teacher. Good to see you.
Yes, of course, Nicola. It is good to see you as well. Trying to...
I got your letter, and I wanted to know if you had some time tomorrow, if we would sit down and have tea. Why am I doing a Spanish accent now? I was wondering if you'd have some time tomorrow to go to sit down and have some tea.
Well, I do not know for certain what exactly tomorrow's plan is, but I believe I will be free.
Of course. No, not Spanish. Sorry.
I know, I talked as Paloma Espada for a long time.
Of
I'm trying to
course.
remember. Lady
Yeah, I know. It
Slightly
went in my
more.
head.
Slightly more French leaning. Not perfect. Not outrageously
And
French.
also, I was wondering if I could. I was wondering if I could offer my services in the afternoon. It's this afternoon is the melee, right?
Yes.
In the afternoon, I know that my own house is going to possibly require some bandaging up, and I wanted to let you know that I will be on. I would be more than happy to be on call if there were any need arises.
That is good to know. I will probably be present myself. And I believe there'll be some other members of the Royal Society there, but more hands is always better work.
Of course, madam. Madame. Would madame be a proper address?
Yes, you can use Madame.
Okay. Of course, madame. I look forward to talking with you tomorrow, and I look forward to working with you today.
Of course.
Oh, judging by these flower arrangements, my cousin is having an emotional crisis.
Is that what you think?
Both of them.
Interesting. Well, I am not one to gossip, but yes, Master Inos's bouquet is very complex. If it were truly a talking bouquet, it would probably be shouting, or possibly singing and dancing.
True.
But the young Marquess's is very fascinating. Very bold choice. Not perhaps perfect for a talking bouquet, a message to another person, but as a display. Very good, very good. And we'll keep this in mind.
It seems to be his specialty.
Just kind of,
I'll continue
you were
to
having a
talk
private
and,
conversation,
like,
so she kind of like raises her voice a little
bend
so that Leslok can hear and be like, it is a terrible shame you have to become a Marquess, your lordship. You would have made an excellent florist.
Well, I think. Though it is still a slight surprise to hear it.
You know, it is what it is. Okay. Yeah, I'll just run through the melee stuff. As I noted, the rules. You guys are signing up with 7, right? Now 7, you're blocked up. It's going to be 3 player characters. And then 4 more characters. Don't know why I said it like that.
Mm.
You're going to be able to use any armor or shields you wish. If you have not already picked out what you got in mind, you can, like I said, we're probably going to have a week before we actually get into the actual fighty bit, so you can look at the document So for using weapons, they are blunted. So basically, the way it works, if all the killing damage your weapon deals normally is converted to shock. If it did bonus shock damage, that is lost, basically, because again, I didn't want it to be just technically better. So rapier normally does wit and killing +1 shock, so that's just wit and shock. For some reason, I have in my notes here, a greatsword normally deals wit in shock and killing +1 killing, so that now becomes wit +1 in shock.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Ranged attacks are not allowed. Sorcery is allowed. You will tie your scrap of cloth. Basically, pick a hit location. Yeah, pick a location. I won't make it be a specific number. I thought about that one, but typically you wear them on your offhand, which is normally going to be your left arm. But there are, like I said, you can tie them to your belt, which would technically be torso. You can tie it to your helmet, which would be head. You could tie it around one of your
Am I
thighs,
alive?
which would be a leg.
Yes.
Yeah, you're here.
Okay. Sorry, I got cut off in the middle of talking to Omega.
Okay. If you got more stuff you wanted to bring up, we can go back there.
No, it's fine. It was just fluff.
Okay. Well, I do like fluff, but we have moved on. You are going to have a meeting with her again, so we can bring it back up later. Yes. So obviously, if you knock at a person down and out, you can take their flag off. Technically, if you are knocked out, you're not actually counted out until your flag is removed, but it's really easy to do it. It would just be like an action. And yours will be orange, by the way, as I said before.
Of course.
If you want to yoinkle it by hand, that's a called shot with either a weapon or an appropriate unarmed skill. So you can just try and grab, but remember this will be an actual combat, so we will be declaring in sense order, so you have to, yell out loud, I'm gonna try and grab his flag! And so if these characters you're trying to grab have better sense than you do, they may be like, no, dodge. Or parry. No, I'm not gonna let him do that. And obviously, because it is a called shot, you do have to worry about the you're still gonna, even if they're blunted, you're still going to be hit with weapons. If those deal points of damage, they are going to break your sets. So keep that in mind.
Getting to pick last is going to be fun for this.
Yeah, you've invested very heavily in sense. That's going to be very, very fun for you. It's been a while since it's come up, but that's the called shot. The banner. You got your house sigil. Where did I write that exactly? I think I did write that exactly. That's a shame. Basically, my intent was, but I seem to have skimped out a little on the rules. You've got a banner with your house sigil. If the other team takes your banner and returns it to their dugout, you lose. If your entire team is incapacitated, you lose. The dugout, your little quote unquote castle area, is kind of like a base. You're not supposed to fight inside it, so you can actually go back and sit down. But you are out if your whole team is pushed back into your dugout, if you have to go base, right? So you can't just completely turtle. If you get pushed back all the way, you're out too. There's going to be barricades and sandbags and stuff. I will describe those in the actual matches when we get there. That's your team you're taking. These are my notes on those teams. But yeah, so you guys would register at noon or by noon, however that works out exactly, and then you presumably get to have a, very hearty, warm lunch. Fortify, fort up, pick your gear and stuff.
Lunch.
And basically you guys are assembled at the old fort. There are representatives of the houses there. But you do not necessarily show up all in force. You don't know exactly who's on what teams ahead of time.
Gotcha.
Because you got Moira's description was pretty good, but not exact. Basically, what they've done is they've taken one of the inner courtyards of the, like I talked about, and basically turned it into kind of a coliseum or arena type ground. They've got like soft packed sand in the floor, and there are some earthworks to shape it up. They've like built up stands in the side, but it's connected to like the old fort like tunnels and inner passageways. So you guys will have like pre-fight areas. Yes, there are portcullises for drama. Got to throw open the portcullises and close them. So you guys will basically have like the medieval or Renaissance equivalent of a locker room to hang out in. Yeah, there's some stuff like some paintball in there, but so yeah, you don't have to see everybody's teams all at once. In character, there's going to be an 8-man bracket. I'm not actually randomizing it. You draw lots. The lots that are going to be arranged are going to be in this order.
Okie doke.
I've spelled that right. So, match 1 will be House A versus House Marin. Match 2 will be House Espada versus House Cheval. You guys are 3. House Logi versus House Oro. And match number 4, House Verity versus House Foretti.
I assume this is normal bracket formation, so I assume the first two would fight each other. The winner. So we're gonna, I guess, we fight for Verity or Freddy in the semis.
Yes.
So we're gonna fight for Eddie in the semi. Got it. I mean, I shouldn't assume, but like,
Yeah, it's like we got.
wait, how old is Reschools again?
21, I think, or 20.
Well,
Okay, yeah, no, I definitely will assume.
I think
then.
we can beat Oro. I know they have some monster hunters, like monster hunting squires.
Well, don't discount Reschool's little sister.
Fair. I also think the Order of the Sphinx is also.
No,
around.
that's true, but it is to. I don't have much confidence in the rest of Verity as frontline fighters.
You know, that
I
is
should
fair.
say.
That is very true.
Especially against Ferretti, who actually do have a decent martial incline.
They're more like boat, but they're more like. I know it's Shaw mounted out.
Honestly, putting a Espada versus Cheval in the first round is mean.
Well, Cheval don't get their horses,
Gonna
so
be
they don't have mounted.
Yeah, no, that's some like I don't know what the expression is, but like that's not like a 1 seed, 2 seed fight.
Oh, I hate to say it, but I do wish I hope we can fight a spot in the finals.
I mean, like, I'll be real. We're fighting one of those 4, and I don't think it's gonna be Marin.
Hey, it could be. Never know.
Honestly, I think out of the 3, Egg is probably the first to get eliminated.
No, I think Egg will probably be Marin. Egg.
I feel like
I don't think they'll make it to the finals.
Put bets on it, but unfortunately, money is.
I will. No,
nebulous.
I'm gonna bet.
I think Egg will at least make it to the semis, but I don't think they're gonna beat
If the Marin
Espada
twins
Cheval.
weren't participating, I would agree. But I think they're both young enough to participate.
I mean, I assume you've just predetermined the winners instead of having to like roll
they
it
will
out.
be out of character. They will be scripted,
Okay.
except for you guys' fights. Those are going to be actual like rolly dice.
Now, I do think that half of the bracket is Espadas to lose. Like, regardless of whatever we think about the other 3. Like, right? Espada has to be the favorite.
I think so. But obviously, you guys are actually you guys have a decent amount of heat.
Oh no, I think we have the highest chance.
Just today,
like,
Konrad Logi.
we probably have the
won
highest
swimming.
odds of. We
Konrad is
probably
a
have the
big
highest
man.
odds of our half of the bracket.
What would it take to throw someone into another person?
grappling. That's literally a grappling maneuver. I think is it a combo maneuver?
It's slam.
Yeah,
Slam.
you can slam into people. There's the maneuvers go very in depth, but I don't think you have coordination plus grappling yet.
No. I wasn't planning on getting grappling.
Thank you, Conrad. But yeah, so you guys can kind of let's see.
I guess what you could tell us how the first
Into
two
the
go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because hey, in my notes, literally, I wrote it this way: you guys are gonna go third, so you can see what some of the other matches are and see what some of the other teams and stuff are going. But third means that you're not immediately going against those teams.
I will place bets. Am I allowed to?
Yeah.
Like,
I
It's
will
mostly just a fluff thing
place.
because you're not.
I know, but I'll place 100 crown. What? I'll
You do
place
not?
100
Probably
crowns
marks.
on.
Don't do 100 crowns.
Or, sorry, 100 marks. That
Yeah.
I was thinking marks.
100 crowns, that's about
Sorry.
Don't do the
It's
math.
more than both.
Yeah, no, I know, but 100 marks on Marin and probably bad betting odds. But no, it's a Espada versus Cheval is probably interesting. So yeah, 100 marks on Cheval or on Espada as well.
And Nicola will probably be observing from the stands from the first couple fights. Logesh, you can also be in the stands. The stands.
I'll probably be with the Royal College.
Okay, yeah. The Lady Remedios and probably a couple of other of the Royal Society of Churgeons, the medics are probably like. Funnily enough, I think it means that you guys get real up close, up front seats. Not like on the
Yep.
stand, but pretty close. The non-fighters of your house can kind of be up there. Logesh can probably be seated up there. Mori's up there, and a couple of your other people who aren't competing. I'll ask you guys what you think is more interesting. Do you think it's more interesting if you guys are watching from like the stands, or like you guys are watching from like your back tunnel kind of a thing, like you're watching from the tunnels and tubes in the back?
No, we gotta watch from the balances because we gotta lean up against them and look out over the arena.
All right, so you guys are up in the stands. Yes, I think that's good.
I have determined all my gear.
Good.
I'm gonna need a buckler.
So, the first up match is discussed is Marin versus Ech. House Ech comes out first, and they've got a pretty decent team, but do have some issues with their timing. The lead of their team appears to be Agnar Bloodexy. He's wielding a great axe. You're pretty sure it's blunted.
Still hammer-like.
It doesn't matter, right?
One fear.
Airless is 20, so she is not participating. So it does kind of seem like they are maybe lacking in the leadership department a little. But they do have Lane and Boris Fishgrief. Lane Fishgrief is cutlass in one hand, axe in another. Her younger brother Boris is using an axe and a shield. Young Torsten McCragg is also axe and shield. And they appear to have added, because they needed a fifth, Aren Dunwich. She is just using a side sword. Meanwhile, House Marin is doing pretty good. So each of the three siblings is out. Oculus seems to be kind of taking their team captain role, like when you guys were drawing lots earlier. Leslok would have seen her. But Ostra is there, and also Alarion is in, and all three of them are wielding blunted cutlasses. I got some kind of light gear on. But they've also got Aspel Biscon as well, and young Niles Korb, who's also wielding a saber. So they're all just like swords, no shields, relatively light gear. So, watching this fight, I will expurgate a little, but it's very interesting. So, House A, most of them, pretty big and burly. Agnar Bloodaxe is a house. They've got a couple of shielders. Lane Fishcreef has a very interesting, style with axe as her off-hand weapon, and actually, technically, the axe is probably your primary weapon, and you block with the cutlass. But you know what I mean? Like an interesting mix and match style. But watching, and feel free if you want to start because we've talked about this a couple weeks ago. Feel free to think about making some tactics rolls if you want to scope out how good some of these guys are fighting, because you're going to watch them work. But the Marin siblings are, the twins are very good at fighting back to back, and then Aspel Biscone kind of forms a third strong core. And you do see Aspel pull off some interesting moves. She fights with the cutlass very loosely in either hand, but she also is throwing out kicks and leg sweeps and stuff too. She's very light on her feet. And hey, remember how I said that sorcery is not verboten? They have 2 Wind Witches in this fight.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff you can do with that
Yeah.
isn't directly hurting people.
So basically, Oster and Aquila basically go in together to lock up Agnar and keep him busy, while also working in concert with Aspel to kind of pick on some of the heavier fighters. And the 2 Wind Witches use their additional agility and tactics to kind of block up, distract, blow sand in the face of the other heavier teams, and actually break out and seize Ace Banner and return it to their base. You witness Alarion Marin grab their banner, and then she does something with her hands and takes a deep breath, and then jumps halfway back across the arena. Wuxia style, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon type leaps,
I haven't thought about it, but they could just win the competition part of it. Yeah, outright.
Yeah, and so they secure the win that way.
Yeah.
I will say that because House Marin is lightly armored, they look like they could use a break after this fight. They win, but it was not easy. So, they have a very, very strong performance and lock in a win. House A, like I said, seems like they were struggling for a strong leadership capacity there. Like I said, if you want to roll tactics on anything to scope out what the Marin team is working with, but you admittedly won't have to worry about them at least until finals. So we can talk about that later.
I don't even know if they'll make it to the finals yet.
That's true. The second match,
True.
then. Yeah.
You can still tell us things.
Yeah. No, I was checking in because Loth threw out some stuff.
Yeah.
But I felt like
Konrad
Dal
will
was
also
Holy
do
shit.
tactics. So I think what an
That was
hour.
straight.
What? I'm dumbfounded.
Huh.
How does this always happen? Yes, Loth, I think, rolled almost a straight. 1, 2, 4, 7, 8, 10. No matches. And yet, if I asked him to roll 4 dice, he would fucking get...
I'm gonna
match.
roll.
You do have a master die, yes. Okay, so you can get a 10. That's good.
I would like to roll tactics. I think my obsession will, or not obsession.
Mission.
Passion will apply.
Yes.
I'm
which is
specifically
probably-
trying to investigate the Marin twins' tactics.
Sure, that's what we're calling it. He did do it. He did the thing. Yeah,
I could
Loth
roll
has a
like
master dice, so he
69.
did-
I could roll raw 40. I could roll raw 4. I don't.
Well, I
could just
don't. We talked about how tactics works. I don't think you get to ask new extra questions if you roll more sets, guys.
Yes, I'm just fine.
This is a question of just
By the way, that's actually not my roll. My roll would be a little higher because is tactics a knowledge skill?
yes.
Yeah, then my roll would actually be like
But
5D.
let me pull up the book and double check. Logesh, what sort of things are you looking for though? Because you can. I think it's in chapter 3. Let's see. Right, difficulties more given what you know. You can ask for their body or coordination stats. You can ask for their skill level, any combat skill you see him use, and his tactics levels. No, that's soldier, so it would be. Let me see. Is that all at once or just each? One of the following facts. Okay. All right. Nope, that's not even the right document. That's the fucking Dramatis Personae. That doesn't have the stats in it. What's modern? Okay, yes, this is fun. So, it's body or coordination. So would you prefer to know they're speedy or they're boppy? I'm already going to give you a little extra English here with their. Okay. So oh no, they're not even. Okay. Aquila is coordination 3. Ostermarin is coordination 4, as is Alarion Marin. Aspel Biscon is also coordination 4, and Niles Corbett is coordination 3. Keep in mind, coordinate is also the sorcery pool. Now, sense is your declare order, but you don't get to tell that from tactics. Probably because declaring in sense order makes every character's sense very obvious when you get into it with them. Let's see. Conrad also got no matches on dice. I assume you don't have a master die in tactics, Conrad?
No, I do not.
Okay. Conrad is just like, yes, they fight good.
I don't have any points of tactics. I don't think I should just fucking.
So,
I have a question.
Yeah.
First,
When you roll the tactics,
Omega?
so. Yeah. Was Dallas dying again? What's up here? Dallas might be dying again.
I wonder.
Because I was going to say to him that he also has a tactics answer. I think Dallas is dead. He's not speaking, which means usually he has died. Yeah, I don't want to move too far away. But... Actually, no, I also don't want to talk about the other teams while Lucky is away.
Okay. I'm back.
All right, good. You're sounding back.
Okay.
So I want to ask tactics.
Specifically Akila's tactics.
Well, yes, because she's the quote-unquote team captain. That would be the only character you could assess that way anyway. Akila Marins has 3 ranks in her tactics skill.
Okay.
It does not say that you get their knowledge, so.
Is it permissive to offer teams like small healing balms and stuff?
I mean, conventional medicine would be okay. It might be a little weird if you're handing them like chemical potions.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I was just gonna offer both them and House Ek any like healing balms.
Yeah, you
And
can
stuff.
offer. Go ahead and make a healing roll.
All right. I'll do one for Ek and one for Marin. So I'll do the one for Marin first. And Master Die I declare afterwards, right?
Yes.
I have Master Die in exactly one thing, and that's healing.
Oh, that sounds like a good one.
I guess I'll put my Master Die into 7s, 3 7s.
Okay, yes, you offer some speedy and detailed healing. Couple of balms, roll some bandages, pass some water skins.
Yeah, and then for Ek. Uh, 4 8s.
Also very good healing. They're feeling a lot better. It's funny, like overall I think House Eich is less beat up, but like still lost the contest. But you are able to help them a lot in their way, and recommend like, hey, splash some water on your face, wash out the corner of your eyes a little. You got sand in there.
Yeah.
All right. So the next match is Cheval versus Espada. The crowd's very anticipating this one. It's going to be a lot of fun. House Cheval assembles first. They have Ektha Cheval as their captain. He's got a spear and a shield, but does have a saber as backup. With him is Rocco Faucon, younger brother of House Faucon. He's armed with a rapier. Helia Marai is armed with 2 daggers. On their team also is Irene Roche. She is armed with a mallet. A 2-handy hammer. And also, young Dren Tarand is there with just a spear. And then Espada assembles. And this one's interesting. Because they've made some team members, but strolling out, the team captain naturally is Paloma Espada, armed with sword and parrying dagger. Also with them is Katita Pantera with just the side sword, and Magon Escuchan with sword and buckler. But also young Ramagua Levin, she's armed with only a quarterstaff, but does appear to have a side bag of alchemical things. But the 5th member of their team is none other than Estelle Hotroy, armed with rapier and buckler. House Hotroy doesn't get their own team, but...
Like, you see that again?
I will start actively laughing in the Royal College section.
I don't know how much of that came over, but I just kind of started falling off my chair.
Most of that balloon deflating sound carried over.
Could you say that roster again? Because it's like, wait, what?
It was Estelle. Estelle is the 5th man.
Your fiance.
No, you're dumb.
Oh.
You're stupid. Narissa can't join. She's too old.
Narissa's 20.
No, Estelle Hotroy is one of Inos' love interests.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Also the 3rd princess. Well, wait, no.
Right,
So,
the one you were
the
talking
crowd
to
goes
Paloma
crazy.
She's also the head of that club that we
Which
go
I
to.
believe. Wait, what's the? Does that mean? Where's the original?
What was that, Aaron?
Oh, I'm just. If we get to the final match, it means that every single match, Inos gets to fight one of his love interests.
Yep. Well,
Assuming
probably his
Freddy wins, I guess, but
probably his. If it's Verity, it's probably his love interest brother.
oh yeah, Rice can't do it. Never mind, I forgot about that. Never
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah,
Right.
Reese is too old. No.
You may
Reese
be
and her
noticing
sister
that
were on
the
it.
age cutoff, by the way, is pretty brutal.
Oh yeah,
A
no.
lot of everybody's best fighters are out.
If
by
Reese
1
and her
year.
sister were on a team, I'd probably give Verity a serious chance.
Arissa would have attended this last year.
Yes, but not this year because it wasn't there last year.
That's fair.
Narissa's
They
probably up
realized
in the
Narissa
stands,
was
probably
older than
thinking
you.
about some shit in her life. Like, well, shit. Do I back my cousin, the weirdo who joined Team Espada, or do I back my fiance? How does this fucking? Do I jump in the ring and just kick her ass?
You worry about that when we get to the finals, I guess.
Yeah.
Clearly, we should have
Yes.
grabbed Narissa Petroid. Like, they're engaged, we're family already.
Well, sadly, she's too old, but
I
you could have
know.
tried that trick.
I wish.
By 1 year.
By the
unfortunately,
way,
it's
if because at the time I wrote these notes, you hadn't yet remembered to bring back up Cavalier Blaka. It hadn't gone through yet. So she would have fought on House A if you hadn't taken her into your house, but you did. So
Yay.
results of our action.
yeah.
Mm.
So it's been in my notes the whole time that Estelle's been on their team. And Paloma is their leader, but there are some very interesting things out here. Paloma and Estelle kind of stick together as a unit, as you might expect. And so with Paloma as kind of the lead, she can single out and challenges and defeats both Rocco Faucon and Hector Cheval. Like she's actually able to like get those guys in a mano-a-mano in order. And you would say even without rolling tactics, she's not quite reached the heights of either of her siblings, but she is just as much of a natural. Katita Pantera and Magon Escuchan are no slouches either. They're able to take on fighters with superior reach and fight through with their own abilities. There are a lot of, spears and sticks and stabs going on. You do notice that Miss Levin, Lady Levin Ramagua, does not really focus heavily on her team, but she is able to use a quarterstaff to block out some of the spear and reach fighters on Cheval. And it is hard fought, but eventually just attrition takes Cheval down. They start losing their best fighters are knocked out or taken out of the fight, I should say. I don't know if anybody's getting knocked out by Paloma Espada schooling them with a blunted rapier, but
I imagine some of this gets into like actual armored wrestling, like some actual fights get.
I mean, yeah, no, but that's again, this is why like they've got spears and shit, and but the Espada squad, they're fighters, they're tough. They're pretty good. And obviously, if you guys want to make some tactics rolls for them, you can do that. Yeah, Inos is. I'm very glad Inos decided to jump in on the Grand Melee and be like, yeah, no, of course, I'll show off. And then I was just like, oh, some of the girls Inos likes are going to be in this.
So you're gonna have to do that thing where you shatter her sword.
I couldn't make a tactics roll on this one.
Okay, I'm gonna try.
I was clearly not motivated enough.
Lack of motivation.
Nope.
I cannot make tactics rolls.
No, he also
Okay.
can make those tactics rolls.
Damn it.
Master Die Boy, can you type !poly on your phone? He can also do it later.
I assume Narissa is sitting with the rest of the hot rise, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And he can also do 10s. Or 3/8s.
What would whiff give in this case?
Width I do not believe has any specific effect. Height is important because it can let you do a couple of things, including judging martial techniques, but that would be a specific call out you would have to make because that sets a difficulty. Okay. Same question as before. Logesh, what would you want to know about Team Despahada? You can know body or coordination, or you can ask their ranks in specific skills that they're using to beat people up. Oh, okay. So you just want to know, because Paloma Espada is their leader, their ranks in tactics. Paloma Espada also has 3 in tactics.
Solid leadership.
Yeah, and I have descriptions for a lot of these characters, but I figure we'll save those for if you actually get into the skronkle with them. And I wanna wrap up, as we're once again just under 4 hours, with announcing the lineup for your opposition. So you guys are called to assemble. You get in all your gear. You scooch up, and you're gonna head out, and you're going to face down with House Oro. The core of the team is built around, like, in the center, you see Noctiluca and Vaclan Rirmaus. Both are armed with sword and dagger.
Oh, Noctiluca is young enough. Okay.
Yep. Um,
I'm so bad with ages.
on the flanks, that's why the ages are by every character's name.
Yeah.
On their sides, kind of flanking, Paz Oro is in attendance with... Sadly, I don't think she could bring her Orichalcum short sword, because that's supernaturally pointy.
I couldn't. Yeah,
That's
take
like
your
that's
number.
the opposite of blunted.
So I think she has to do with... just, yeah, short sword. But also on the team, on kind of Paz's opposite flank, one Ramil of Sunsand, the Desert Kith. He is armed with a heavy saber.
Smart idea.
Kind of loose-footed on the ground, stepping in the sand. It's going to be a little warmer. And then, for the lulls, because you may be thinking to yourself, Omega, how the fuck did House Oro get 5+ guys? Well, the funny is, the last 2 on their squad, and yes, they actually have 6, is a couple of the marriageable cousins. It's Viera Oro and Miran Hamada.
Yes, we
Yeah,
are
I
actually
had
gonna
a-
have to defeat them.
I'm not surprised. I knew that was
I
coming.
genuinely thought they were gonna get a full set.
No, technically, I think there may have been 3 of the cousins at the masquerade. But I decided to go for 6 because, what are the odds that they have fighting skills? Because they're pretty minimally armed. Yes,
I will
There's
say,
a
Omega,
Yeah.
I
There's the 7
did
years
look
with
this
giant
up.
swords.
I don't mean to make it harder on my my fellow players, but technically, fulminating jars have no killing damage.
Interesting.
They are just flashbangs. Very loud flashbangs.
Yeah, it's just 6 shock.
Well, it's area dice. Yes.
I don't know if that. I don't think that'd be counted or not. If that would be uncouth. Case.
Well, you'll find out if they got brought to the fight, because you do have 2 alchemists in the other team. But yeah, that's where you guys square up, and you get ready to be called for maneuvers, and that's where we'll start next time, which will be good. Alrighty, a solido session. We had a little ups and downs. We had some tech diff there, but we got through some stuff. I think all the
Made my
role-playing
notes
was
next
good.
week because it's been weeks where I've not had much to put in the Personae, but I have at least tried.
Yeah, I know for a fact Lucky wrote some stuff recently because he was, reviewing and checking.
I know I wrote stuff. I think the day after last session we had.
I don't know if I did or not.
I don't
I can't
think
remember.
he did.
This last week has been a giant blur.
'Cause I
I'm
have
gonna
stuff for the
try and
ninth
get some
grade
stuff for
students.
next week. Try and get some for Lady Madame
Yeah, last session was the
Doctor.
15th.
Lady Doctor. Yeah, so once again, looking in the wrong fucking category. Herp and or derp. Okay. Oh, it's okay. I was like, huh, that seems very recent. No, that's sorry. 12:45 a.m. today was 5 minutes ago. Okay. Don't know if I should count that one
You probably should not.
No,
for
I
Axe.
just wrote. I know. I just wrote that one.
But I
so what I
believe
wrote,
that Aren said that the last
I wrote
session was
one
the
for Nicola.
15th, so yeah, the 16th was
I wrote
good,
one.
and nobody else has any. Because I'm pretty sure I gave Aren the credit for the ones that he wrote like immediately prior to or during last session.
During the session, yeah.
So everybody showed up. Everybody had good role playing. Well, except for Loth, but he has a cough, so I will allow it. I will not be mean and take away Loth's point because he coughs. And I think he did some good text stuff towards the end of embodying the character. So 2 XP base for everybody, and then Lucky and Axe, you get your bonus for extra go above and beyond points.
Yay.
That's
You may
3.
consider using those for skills like sword.
I already have
dodge,
5. I already have
parry.
5 in sword. I guess I could go to 6, and I guess I could go 6 in dodge. Though
I don't feel bad that some of these NPCs have like 5s and 6s and stuff.
Oh, I've been slowly building this up over the last few sessions because I'm readying myself for this.
Good. You're hopefully not going to look like a doofus.
No, but I'm thinking about I might need to up
Well,
a martial pad.
Omega, do remember, no matter what points people put in what, at the end of the day, the dice decide.
It's true, but if you have 10 dice, it is a statistical anomaly to roll a straight. Hell, I think it's a statistical anomaly to miss a match at 9 dice, because that's like, what, 98%?
I've done it. Not 10 dice,
Nice.
but I've definitely done the nice dice.
Let me go
9
find
dice.
the table.
I don't know about that one. Anyway, thank you so much for the session. I know we were still a little rough around the edges, but like I said, I think we got some good role-playing focus from a couple of characters, and we got to do some funny events.
Mm-hmm.
And next time, we're going to let you guys actually stretch your muscles in a fight. A fighto.
Big fighto.
So we'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and that's it. Good night, Rain.
Night, everybody.